Hello, Justin's recording.
Hello, Mago's recording. We're here to watch some bullshit again.
It's very funny bullshit. I mean, it's a very serious matter, but it is still funny.
Yeah, it's funny in a sad kind of way.
I mean, that's how furry related stuff usually is.
True.
Even though I don't think Mr. Enter is even a furry, but like the people he's surrounded with are basically furries.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Enter was a brony at one time. We're involved in the
Oh
brony
yeah, that's
community to
right.
some capacity.
Oh yeah.
And I don't care what anyone says, brony is an offshoot of furry.
True, but he's asexual. So
I
I don't know
don't
if
know
he
what
can
that
be a
has to do
furry.
with anything.
In order to be a furry, don't you have to want to fuck the furries?
I mean, I want to fuck the furries and I'm not a furry.
Okay, that's a good point.
So, any of age furries out there, hit me up.
Yeah, this guy, he's single and he's ready to mingle, like a Pringle.
All right,
Come suck
so
his dingle.
so we're watching the Star Giant Productions drama. We watched the first part like 2 days ago, and I still haven't uploaded it yet because I'm lazy. But
Yeah,
by the time this comes out, that one will be out.
yeah, I'm lazy too, so I can't say anything. Remember when TVs looked like that?
Yeah, it's actually kind of similar to the first TV I had.
Yeah.
Um,
See, nowadays that's closer to what a microwave looks like.
Accurate. I found my first TV in the garbage when I got off school, and it was too heavy to carry because those bubble TVs are super fucking heavy. So I had to drag
Yeah.
it by the cord all the way home,
Uh, I see.
and it still worked, and it worked for like 2 years.
I mean, that's pretty badass, to be honest. You got a free TV.
Hell yeah! All right. Unless you got anything else to say, I'm ready to start.
Sure, sure.
All right, let's get into this shit show and see how bad Star Giant Productions has gotten since the last video.
Yeah,
Last time on
and I
Mr.
think
Enter
we
the
hear more about the mystic mongrel person who he said was like even worse.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Um, Let me move my volume slider up just a little.
I mean, really, this whole thing is, I mean, it's about Star Giant Productions, but like, it's really about like a bunch of like shitty people.
Okay.
Like, I already watched some of this for clarity, but I didn't see the whole thing because I kind of decided this might make an interesting vid.
Okay.
Investigates, I looked into my ex-editor Rebecca Starlight. I had assembled a team and discovered that she was worse than I had ever thought possible. We uncovered everything, from underpaying workers to providing cover for the predator Necopon, to engaging in predatory actions against minors herself. In the intervening months, I grew unsatisfied calling the case closed, as there were still questions that needed to be addressed. What has Rebecca been up to since March? Why did the Necopan investigation last so long? What's the deal with Ray Rance? What was anyone thinking during the infamous Rosa Ray Ramsey Senate call? And most prominently, who is Mystic Mongrel? What did she do? These questions and more will be answered in this video. I've been investigating the story for weeks now, and it is one of the most convoluted things that I have ever experienced. If I wrote a book about this, it'd be rejected for being too unbelievable. Due to the complexity of the story, we'll do a roll call at the start. There are more names to keep track of, but you're about to see the main characters. Pay attention to them as we go along.
Even when you had plenty of evidence shown to you time
You
and
want
time
honestly?
again.
I didn't look at that. Like, because I kept having people don't look at that. It's fake information.
But how old was he exactly when you guys were together? Or when you guys had the relationship?
He was going to be 17 in a month.
It's not my server, it's Rebecca's.
It's a server that you had the ability to ban them in, that you've told us about.
Actually, it's not.
Stop schizo posting about Zaid. Stop obsessing over him. Stop talking about him. Because if I keep catching you do it, this is going to happen again and it's going to be worse. Because next step, since you made it very clear that you can't control yourself, I'm contacting your parents. And I don't want to have to because you're 30 years old and I shouldn't have to.
What the fuck? You're 30 years old, but I'm gonna call your mom and tattle on you. I was not expecting that. I was expecting the authorities.
This is my favorite character so far.
Leo Convoy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I at least remember that image from the other vid.
Yes, so do I.
I don't remember the rose.
Neither do I. I remember the Nekopon one and Starlight Productions.
Yeah.
Me that you can't follow instructions.
And the evidence wasn't given to them yet until he came in contact with me after the Rosa call, and he told me, hey, we're going to pick up your situation, we're going to help you, we're going to make a video, we're planning on making 2 videos, and then, you know, you could get your closure and you could be done with this stuff. You could be free. And I believed him.
And did that ever happen?
No.
From what I am aware of Carmen Ryder, while she is very deranged, at that point it becomes more of a...
Hi, Neil.
Level of, I know that she's into Lolicon, but she states that she's not into CP. On top of that, she has helped in against Nekopon and Studio Needing More.
I, Mongrel, am truly sorry for my wrongful actions of sharing images of yours of an illegal nature.
And I reminded her before I showed her the screenshots is, hey, just wanted to let you know that I wanted to show you what happened. I'm not throwing the hatchet at you. I'm softly giving you one hatchet. That way the 2 of us could put it onto the people that have hurt us.
I'm glad I'm at least hearing your side. It might be important for other people to hear that in case they do ask.
But what is both the funniest thing and the most petty thing in the world?
I've already got a complaint, and it's not with Mr. Enter or the video.
Yeah.
There are too many fucking people involved in this shit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already trying to, like, remember the people from the last one. I'm already kind of like, oh shit, I know that a lot.
Yeah.
It seems
I mean, he said it was gonna get fucking complicated. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm grabbing my bottle of water.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did it go? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the fucking fireworks are being picked up on my mic.
Oh, great. Alright. Oh yeah, happy 4th of July, everyone.
Yeah, this is recorded on the 4th of July. It's not going to be up on the 4th of July.
I think
actually, by the time this is done, it probably won't be the 4th of July anymore.
Yeah, it'll probably be up on the 5th, though. If my audio and video records properly all the way through, I'm going to upload them both immediately.
Alright, that's good.
Alright, let's go.
Sentence may have actually killed Star Giants. Him saying her editing sucks. And it seems her editing being questioned was more concerning than the fact a predator was roaming around her server like Pac-Man.
I do want to say I'm sorry, genuinely, I'm sorry about how I treated you during the whole Neko thing. I should have believed you instead of being on her side for so long. And I should have believed you about Mongrel.
I think it is.
Okay.
I really wanted to see the good in her.
But I'm also sad there's no Phineas.
And everyone in that situation, but no,
I'd rather have Ferb.
Good people.
Wow.
User action should be called Ferb.
Agreed.
Start with the rules. Rule 1. Everyone is considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Accusations are not convictions. Rule 2. Do not attempt to contact or otherwise harass anyone mentioned in this video. Some of the people mentioned are heinous and can be considered dangerous to interact with. Others have simply made grievous mistakes. It's not my determination to whether they should be held to account for them, and it is not in your determination either.
Why do we need a rule book?
I don't know. That's just the legal shit. They also gotta tell you don't harass people and all that shit.
Yeah,
he's just being fancy with it.
Okay, fair enough. This is just another case where the production editing feels odd given the gravity of the.
Oh yeah, I mean he at least like mentions that.
Okay, good.
Catch you trying to harass any of these people at all, you're gone. Rule 3. Be careful taking anyone's word at face value. Some of the people are incentivized to hide the truth in this particular story. Some people have mental disabilities that can make recall difficult or even impossible. And some people were so traumatized by the events that they repressed parts of the story that they were in. Rule 4. I have to be very selective with the information that I do give. I know more than I am letting on, including facts that are relevant to the story that I am purposefully not stating. I have taken the discretion to consider this information dangerous. Many of the people in the story are susceptible to self-harm, and I'd like to do what I can to prevent that. However, Rule 5. I feel that to not tell any of the story at all would result in even more harm. Nekopon, her associates, and the investigations that have followed have led to a lot of pain and suffering and trauma. And the longer that this goes on, the worse that it will get. Just now, some of the shockwaves are touching the public, and I cannot sit on my hands as bad actors continue to seek out and harm others.
I do appreciate the third and fourth rules.
Yeah.
Because like I say, cause, like it's always a good thing to. I feel like that's the thing that like people always need to like remember is that you can't always fucking like take everything at face value.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
How did we get here? In early 2024, I had learned of what Rebecca had been doing since her firing in 2021, and that would bring me into looking what she herself called her greatest failing ever, the Nekopon incident.
The last issue that we get to talk about today is my biggest fuck up, regarding Nekopan. I fucked up big time with Nekopan. People tell me that she was a creep, with emails and even videos as evidence, but Neko manipulated me into thinking that she wasn't.
The video that she made just fucking out of sync originally?
It must be, because it's been out of sync in both parts of this.
This person's an editor. I just want to remind you of that.
Man, this whole thing is fucked from top to bottom. Every little detail, including the idea that Rebecca could ever be an editor.
Yeah, her editing's really bad. Like, really fucking shit.
Yeah.
Nekopan. I fucked up big time with Nekopan. People tell me that she was a creep, with emails and even videos as evidence, but Neko manipulated me into thinking that she wasn't. I did keep a creep on my server for 8 months, I will admit that. But I did that only because I thought she wasn't a creep. And she was nice to the people on my server, until I learned that she wasn't. Like, if I had known sooner that she was a creep, I would have banned her immediately. Neko is one of the main reasons why I don't allow minors anymore on my server. People like Phantom Strider and Kai Smash Universe told me that Neko was a good person, so I listened to them and left it at that. And I'm sorry to Neko's victims that I hurt by not bringing her to justice sooner, by not banning her much earlier in life.
Fucking voice, I can't.
Sorry, her voice is fucking terrible. Also, bringing her to justice. Are you a police officer, ma'am?
Also, it's like it's already out of sync, but it just does not like fit with the face at all. It looks really like it was kind of like dubbed over.
Yeah, it really does. Face, voice, no match.
It's one of the controversies not related to me that actually managed to stick to her, despite her repeated attempts to deny. It essentially became a truism. The sky is blue, and Rebecca Starlight had let a predator stay in her Discord server for 8 months. Before we begin in earnest, I want to make it clear just what kind of predator that Nekopon actually was. I felt that one of the weaknesses in the first video is that I never really delved into this aspect of the story. Luckily, in the interim, another YouTuber, Lazy Bedhead, decided to talk about the Star Giant production story, and not only pieced together certain parts I couldn't, but went much deeper into what Nekopon actually did. I will be paraphrasing much of what she said in her own video for this part of the video. The wording will be close at times, and that is intentional, but it's for reasons that I cannot currently state. After you're done with this video, I strongly suggest that you look at her video, if you'd like to see the Rebecca Starlight story from beginning to end. Nekopon went by a few names during her time on the web. Her real name is Ariana Timble, and one of her alternate names is LED Dragon. She has others, but these are the names that will come up for this video. The LED Dragon account is the one
funny how like someone will have like an avatar and it just like looks completely different from the person.
Yeah, that's pretty common for some fucking reason that I'll never understand.
Well, I mean, I guess I get it. It's like you want to be somebody else, because it's like, even if it's a human, it's supposed to be, you know.
It's that I hate bringing this up because he got in a lot of trouble over it, but it's very accurate to that joke that Ricky Berwick made that everybody thought was transphobic.
Oh.
Did you
what
see
was
it?
the joke? I probably haven't.
The profile picture versus the user.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean for trans people specifically. I mean, like, for everyone who has, like, a cartoon avatar of quote-unquote themselves.
I mean, I guess the avatar is supposed to be, like, who you want to envision yourself as. But, I mean, just being, you know, crude me, it's just funny when it's like, you have the sexy avatar, and the person is, not sexy. As we can see here.
Yeah. Her nostrils look weird. I can't focus on anything but her nostrils. They look so pointy.
It's piggy nostril. She's a giant... she's an Asian piggy. This is a very serious video, and it should be taken very seriously, folks.
Yes.
Was in Rebecca's Discord server, and many people in the story call her either Ari or Ariana. She rose to a small amount of prominence as she made commentary videos on Cristalli.
Real name, David Alejandro Pascual Arguenta. Cristalli was a controversial figure online. Accusations of tracing, threatening physical violence towards other content creators, filing false copyright strikes, and his questionable behavior towards minors. This all accumulated to an arrest being made on April 11th, 2019.
She was a part of the Cristalli SVU Discord group, which was used to investigate and document Argueta's actions online. Several minors, including Endo, were a part of this group. Argueta was arrested on April 11th, 2019, and after that, the Discord group became a general hangout, and this is where many of Nekopan's actions took place. She introduced something called the Folding Dungeon. Users were ambushed by a surprise Discord call where people would be harassed, yelled at, threatened, and a good deal of this was inflicted on minors by those closest to Nekopan. Nekopan also wrote and read a fanfiction featuring herself and a 16-year-old. It has been described as a 50 Shades of Grey parody.
Where was I? Oh yes, I started to whimper. I wanted to scream out, but I couldn't. I then start to feel something hot and wet against my neck as I feel his tongue glide down the side of my neck.
I don't know what's worse here. The actual story that's... Ugh, or the fact that she can't fucking read it properly. It's her story!
Also, the fact that she's reading it to minors.
Yeah, that's also another layer of fucked. Ugh.
I then start to feel that he was starting to lower himself down from my neck to my collarbone. Before I could say anything, my mouth slowly opened. He then covered my mouth with his hand. He then raised himself up. Our eyes meeting. He then muttered under his breath, with a deep tone. Say a word, and you'll be in much more trouble later on. I then slowly nodded my head. I felt so dizzy. I felt room spin around me as I started to feel his hands wander more and more all over. Before I know it,
occasionally
my
trip
legs
over your words, but what
nearly
the fuck
gave
is
in,
going
and I
on?
almost fell into his.
Is that like a glitch or something?
I don't think so.
That's really That's not just me. That's really weird, right?
Yeah, that's really fucking weird, especially when she's the one that wrote the shit.
I mean, yeah, it's like you're just reading. It's like an occasional trip over the word, but it's like constant going. It's like it feels very unnatural.
It's almost like a record skipping.
I mean, yeah, like what we're saying.
He then caught me, and he was able to catch me. He was able to lift me up slowly with one hand. His other hand started to glide downward I then start to feel his hot touch.
At the time, Ariana was 24 years old. Ariana also drew with a minor in a sexually suggestive manner. On November 5th, 2020, a Twitter thread by June, not to be confused with June the King, would document many of Nekopon's abusive actions. And on November 10th, a full confession call would be recorded.
When it came to the relationship, I realized, and I thought long and hard, I did not give myself time to get over a previous breakup I had of a 3-year relationship. And I ended up jumping into something that I ended up realizing this was a really bad idea. A really fucking bad idea.
I'm confused. What do you mean?
Like, he was turning 18 in like a month or so at the time.
Oh no. 18?
Well, here's the thing. There was no sexual. There was no sexual anything.
But why did you tell me that you would do back calls and everything to my face?
This happened in the last
All the
video.
time. You would smear it to my face.
You literally
waiting for
sent
the good
me
part.
some sexual role plays you've had with him.
Well,
you also talked about it in the group chat that we used to be in.
I meant like we're not sending nudes or anything, not like that. No.
But you still had a sexual conversation with a minor.
And I realized that was the dumbest fucking thing I did. I accept that.
During my investigation on Rebecca Starlight, I was informed that on November 5th, the victims would send out an email to 2 YouTubers, Phantom Strider and Rebecca Starlight. The story goes that Phantom Strider fired Ariana right then and there. Meanwhile, Rebecca gave excuse.
I don't know anything
Can I
present
just
about
say something real
Nekopan.
quick?
So people say,
Yeah, sure.
I find it very odd how, like, Phantom Stride, do you even know who that, you know who that is, right?
I've seen a couple of his vids.
Okay. No, it's just always funny to me how he's like, has like this super wholesome personality. Or at least on his vids and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he has a South Park character.
Oh, yeah.
I had a pedophile in my server knowingly for 8 months are all liars.
After excuse.
Speaking of which, I once had an artist named Nekopan. She's part of some drama, accused of grooming. That is all that I know about her. Did she actually do this? I don't know. I really don't. People think that I still have contact with her. The last time that I messaged her was May of 2021. I don't know what she has done afterwards. Stop going to me about this person.
After excuse.
And no, you could tell Leo this. I did not know that Neko was a predator. I'm going to state that. And no, I didn't keep a known predator for months on end. Which is why I brought up in my video.
Even when you had plenty of evidence shown to you time
You
and
want
time
honesty?
again.
I didn't look at that. Like, because I kept having people don't look at that. It's fake information.
Either completely refusing to see the evidence or taking Ariana's side over the evidence.
Do you know what pisses me off even more? Whenever I introduce someone to my staff and then someone comes to me and says that they're terrible
Looks
with
like
no
your kind of
evidence or
video
false
game.
evidence. Or rather...
There are a couple of pony video games that I have played. I would not play this one. Also, why does it sound... This is... Oh, I'm stepping on a landmine here. I'm probably gonna have to edit this out. But, why the fuck does it sound like half of the people talking are talking with their noses plugged? Including Rebecca.
Well, Rebecca has a fucking lisp.
Okay.
It's like some of the other, I don't know, maybe it's just because, I feel like a lot of people in this, like, type of community, they just have these high-pitched voices.
It's not the
sound
high
young.
pitched. It's the impediment that comes with it.
Well, wait, who else has the impediment besides Rebecca?
Dar the Star. Listen to them talk.
Stop going to me about this person.
After excuse.
And no, you could tell Leo this. I did not know that Neko was a predator. I'm going to state that. And no, I didn't keep a known predator for months on end. Which is why I brought up in my video.
Even when you had plenty of evidence shown to you time
You
and
want
time
honesty?
again.
I didn't look
okay,
at that.
I hear that.
Because
That
I kept
sounds-
having people don't look at that.
I don't know if that's a lisp or just, like, some kind of, like, accent.
I'm not entirely certain, but I've noticed quite a few people involved in this story have that same kind of speech thing going on. Not everyone, but quite a few.
Yeah.
It's fake information.
either completely refusing to see the evidence or taking Ariana's side over the evidence.
Do you know what pisses me off even more? Whenever I introduce someone to my staff and then someone comes to me and says that they're terrible with no evidence or false evidence, or rather past experiences from years ago. Nekopan is an artist of mine who started in the MLP list. About a week after that video went up, I got an email saying that she was an abuser. I looked into this and Neko had to explain to me the correct situation. Well, she didn't explain the correct way. It was more like she explained the situation and that she accepted that she made past mistakes and toxic behavior. But the problem is that these assholes that were abusing her didn't believe that. After this, I gave Neko a panic attack and I regret doing so. The panic attack from her was mostly because she didn't want to end up being fired or end up in the same abusive situation that she did with Phantom Strider.
Phantom Strider said absolutely nothing publicly about Nekopan. Between these two, somehow, Nekopan got wind that her bosses were emailed, and she was pissed. We have to talk about this email. Both of the emails are identical, even to the point where Rebecca's misgenders her. So, let's ask the question. How did Ariana discover this email? Who showed it to her? Star Giant is and has been the leading theory, but in my investigations for this video, I've grown reasonable doubts. There are three possibilities to how Nekopan discovered the email. Either Rebecca showed this email, Strider showed this email, or Nekopan was able to infer what was going on herself. Rebecca does claim that she did talk things through with Nekopan. However, at no point in any of the years since this happened does Rebecca ever outright say that she showed Ariana the email. She does say that she didn't even look at it at one point, but with different story after different story after different story, it's safe to say that Rebecca is a liar, especially as she needs to come up with increasingly desperate excuses as the Nekopan incident caused more and more reputational pain for her. Here's the most important fact of this matter. Rebecca is stupid. She is very stupid, and she is very egotistical. Does going 3 years and never mentioning showing this email to Nekopan, even once, sound like something that she would do? Something that she was even capable of doing? While Rebecca did have the foresight not to say things that would get her in immediate trouble with people, constantly, again and again, she has incriminated herself in everything that she's ever done.
I don't copy off other people for the record, I get inspired. People said I got fired for plagiarism. Ironically enough, I flunked college for that reason alone.
My inclination is that Rebecca would have proudly stated that she showed this email to Nekopan, because for a good deal of the time, for the first half of 2021, Rebecca was publicly defending Nekopan. Even beyond that, Rebecca showed me and my staff the letter that she got from Julia Vickerman, and would often talk about her own personal issues. Even as late as December of 2020, she still trusted people enough to talk about more serious things.
I'm just gonna say it because I don't care anymore. I don't care about Black Lives Matter, and I have several reasons for that. One, the people that forced me to join were abusive and toxic to me. Two, they were actually white people. And three, no friend of mine who is black actually supports this organization. And then there's the more deeper controversies. I don't really care for the George Floyd shooting. And I thought that...
What? not even the fact that she got confused shooting with suffocation. Just, what?
I mean, to be fair, it usually is shooting.
Yeah, that's fine, but I didn't care for it. Like, what? It wasn't your favorite TV show? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's not the best wording.
The judge did the right thing with the Breonna Taylor shooting. Both are opinions that people would hate me for. Meanwhile, George committed a crime. Yes, he didn't deserve to die, and I'm glad that the police officers got thrown in prison. But George would at least have to serve some jail time for counterfeit, stealing, and fraud.
Rebecca ended up telling people every one of her fucked up thoughts and beliefs. Like when she questioned Wes's train.
I at least get where she's coming from on those.
Yeah, I can understand where the thought process is coming from.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably a landmine, but my thing was, like, Black Lives Matter is, like, with Gamergate, like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Because it seems like everybody has a different, like, idea of what it is.
Yeah, I've heard, like, multiple different stories of what Gamergate is. I've heard multiple different stories of what Black Lives Matter is. With Black Lives Matter, I support it in theory, but I don't have enough information to, like, want to put it in my bio or anything like that.
Yeah. Also, I do believe the original group is like a communist group.
Yeah, I don't think that matters.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, like, 'cause it's kind of like, is that like what it is? A communist group who takes pictures with dictators?
I don't know if that's true or not, but I have heard some things about the original organization itself that weren't good. But it
Yeah.
was so long ago, I don't remember anything specific.
That's just like one of the things is why I can't like put it in my bio or something, or like why I wouldn't is because I don't know what it is. I have no problem saying Black Lives Matter. It's just, you know.
Yeah. As a movement, as an idea, I support it, but as an organization, I don't know how I feel, and putting it up, it makes me uncomfortable because of the fact that I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
No one I have asked has ever stated that Rebecca showed them this email. Let's talk Phantom Strider. He fired Nekopon immediately. This is confirmed by pretty much everyone in the investigation team. Strider even banned Rebecca from his Discord server when she tried to defend Nekopon.
Okay.
Mystic Monk. Okay, yeah.
This does not mean that Strider did not show Nekopon the email. After all, and explain this is a pretty typical way of starting a firing. However, when it comes to Phantom Strider, there's something about this whole scenario that just makes me feel uncomfortable and uncertain. There's an art piece by Nekopon on Phantom Strider's Twitter. To this day, it's dated November 1st, 2020, 4 days before the emails were said to be sent out. To this day, it's still up, and this date is so close to the firing. It is highly improbable that he would have forgotten about it. And this one picture tweet, this isn't like a video that you could argue is important for ad revenue or algorithms. It's a tweet that costs nothing to take down. And should anyone ask, it's an easy explanation as to why you took it down. It's worth stating that, if nothing else, it's irresponsible to leave this artwork up without saying anything anywhere about Nekopon's true nature. Pie Guy, who is also featured in this picture, took down entire videos because they featured a predator. What really sows doubt is Nekopon's DMs with user X, where, as of February 2021, Ariana claims that she and Phantom Strider made up, that he might commission her again. Now, there is something that must be stated. Nekopon is a liar. She is a devious snake and a manipulator. And as I said, take everyone's word with a grain of salt. Here's my logic. People need a reason to lie. What benefit does it get you to lie and say that Strider forgave you in private to a single friend? What is the point of this lie?
But what I don't appreciate is the fact that some of those people, they even went out of their way to contact my bosses to fire me for my past actions. And my bosses, they know what I've done. And both of them have respectfully said that they will not judge me for what I've done in the past. They judge me for who I am now.
This comes from a video that Nekopon made in December 2020, where she herself tries to address the allegations. This video has all of the problems as any other YouTuber apology. Crocodile tears, woe was me bullshit, downplaying the actual sin, but that line there stood out to me in particular. Why not say that you got fired due to the allegations? Wouldn't that make you look far more sympathetic to the public eye? That's what Nekopon is trying to do. And if you don't want to blame Phantom Strider or Rebecca, happenstance is a possibility. Nekopon said that she knew that her bosses were emailed. That doesn't mean that she literally saw the email from either of them. Now, Nekopon did harass the people who sent the email, but here's a fact. Rebecca's grooming victim did not send the email. Rebecca's victim didn't even see the email, and Nekopon got one of Rebecca's moderators, Rosa Ray Ramsey, to harass them and send them gore over Twitter. What is the point of doing that? Unless Nekopon didn't know who was coming at them specifically, and just wanted to go scorched earth on all of her enemies.
You know what would be the good thing if we were like big internet celebrities?
What?
If people started sending us gore, we wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, right?
You post that shit.
My response would be send more.
On talked about a Twitter thread, which is not difficult to find, and her
I'm
boss
not gonna
is
lie, I
being...
would fuck her avatar.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's got a booty. It's got a booty.
Emailed. In this situation, I have to come to the conclusion that no one is telling the truth.
Because I know a sane person would get rid of Necopon in an hour, which was Phantom Strider. Man got rid of her in an hour. Bam.
Okay, I will say one thing. I guess there is some doubt with Phantom Strider being cast here, but I don't understand why it's a big deal that he didn't delete the tweet. It's very possible that he just forgot.
Didn't he post it after he fired her?
No, he said it was 4 days before he fired her.
Okay.
4 days before he received the email.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I don't have much of an issue there. But I can see it being a little sus.
I guess.
But I feel like he's making it a bigger deal than it is, personally.
Yeah.
Unless I'm misunderstanding something, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Leaving up tweets doesn't seem that incriminating.
Oh, yeah.
Gone. Never heard of her again.
Maybe not intentionally lying, but I can't in good faith say that either of these people threw Necopon to the curb. The only thing I know for a fact is that neither of these individuals had a bad thing to say about Necopon to the public, and no one else in either of their circles saw this letter. So why am I going on about this email? Why is this important? You know that infamous thing that Rebecca did, keeping Necopon until around the summer of 2021? Rebecca wasn't alone in doing that. At this point, everyone knows that the mods did nothing about Necopon, but Ariana was actually a part of a circle of friends, of about 6 by my account. One of them was Ray Rance, an editor for Rebecca at the time, who had not yet been alienated by her tendency to underpay workers. In Ray's spare time, he ran these ops towards Rebecca's victim, trying his best to drive them off the internet for reasons that I do not and will never understand. But what I do understand is that he had a seething hatred for Rebecca's victim, to the
Ray's avatar is ugly as fuck.
Yeah, that's not a very good avatar.
No.
Making video rants towards them, as he does about Star Giant Productions today. He was 20 years old at the time, and his age is important to this story because his 17-year-old girlfriend, Lily, was also involved. Amanda, and a user that goes by the name of French Fry, takes us up to 4. User X was the 5th member of this group, and I think I should make it clear one of the reasons that I'm giving them anonymity for this. They should not have been involved in the events to follow for several reasons, but I do want to make it known upfront that they have directly apologized for what they have done, and they have also suffered for what they have done. And I would not have been able to get these answers without their help. It is also worth noting that no member of this group got a direct contact explaining what Necopon had done at the start of this story. Not a single person makes mention of the email that Rebecca got. None of them were emailed specifically, and Necopon banned anyone that she recognized on sight. She was a moderator for Rebecca. The 6th member of this group was Mystic Mongrel. Yes, that Mystic Mongrel.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I believe in Frylock.
You believe in what?
Frylock.
What the
My
fuck
girlfriend,
is...
that's who French Fry is. Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, okay.
Well, I saw the French fries. I wanted to make a Frylock joke, and even if it didn't fit.
Yeah, I don't know shit about Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I've seen like one episode. I really liked it, but I haven't watched anything else.
You need to watch it. You need to watch Venture Brothers at some point.
I liked it was an adult cartoon. It had the voice actor from Bob's Burgers in it. He was like a spy.
Oh, Archer?
Archer, yep. I watched like 3 or 4 seasons of Archer. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, I actually haven't. That is actually one I haven't seen.
We're on 2 different planets when it comes to TV shows.
That is really fucking weird, isn't it? Again, it's like there's like so much shit that like where we should like cross over that we don't. I'm still shocked you don't know what Homestar Runner is.
Yeah, I still have no clue what the fuck that is.
I'll show you. You've at least had to see like images of it and shit.
Yeah, I've probably seen memes and stuff.
I mean, that's like the Flash cartoon.
Okay.
Just who is Mystic Mongrel? The short answer is a very strange individual. She was in these circles, both in Rebecca's server, but she also worked as a translator for, once again, Phantom Strider. However, even before an eventual falling out, Mongrel was an odd one out among this friend group. You know what kind of person she was? She was the only person in this group that knew of the allegations towards Nekopon before being alerted to them by others. And yet, at the same time, Mongrel sexually harassed Nekopon. Yeah, Mongrel had a crush on Ariana, and she was sure to show it. When Ariana wouldn't succumb to Mongrel's advances, Mongrel got into a relationship with User X. This relationship can't be described as anything but abusive.
Mongrel was obsessed with me. She made comments about me on multiple occasions and even commented on the fact on how at the time I was a virgin, finding it very attractive. Mongrel basically wanted me and would do everything in her power to try and get me back by being on multitudes of live streams with Call Me Nil, to threatening people, to threatening to dox people. Mongrel wanted a lot. She wanted me to be with her, even though at the time her girlfriend was not interested in a polyamorous relationship.
I know I'm the last person to say this because I've made this mistake, but being in online relationships is so fucking cringe. Like, just flat out, the way people act with online relationships is so weird.
Yeah. Do you mean specifically romantic ones?
Yes. Friendships are all cool and fine, but, like, when you try to get romantic with someone online, shit's just weird, yo.
Yeah. I mean, people be horny and shit.
There is nothing wrong with getting some horn dog out online with people, but, like, when you try to, like, be romantically involved with someone online, that shit is fucking weird, yo.
I mean, it's kind of hard to find people this day and age.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I tried using Facebook dating just to see, like, how it works and whatnot. I was kind of curious. I've made one actual match who won't message me back. I don't know why they matched with me. I messaged them, and they haven't said shit. And everyone else has been scam accounts.
Oh, yeah, online dating's a shit show.
And over time, we would do things together, and she would tell me that it was my choice. But I think she had a very particular thing in mind, mainly being a woman of high power. Yeah, I think we're all grown adults. I think we can all put two to two together on what the hell I'm talking about. She would make jokes and would tell me that I should join her harem. Yes, she is making one. And told me it would be a somewhat polyamorous thing, where I could date other people, but it would have to be her and her girlfriends. I was also told when I was questioning my gender that she would not continue to do things with me, as even making a joke about a penis grossed her out significantly. And because I didn't want to lose her affection, I did what I was told. And over time, even though I didn't want to, my brain started to think that maybe, just maybe, she could be a good romantic partner. And that if I just went with her before, if I had just submitted to her before, none of this would have happened.
This relationship would occur over the course of the winter of 2020 and early 2021. Even Rebecca's own grooming victim was put off by Mongrel and Nekopon, as shown in the last video. And from what I can tell, this is one of the reasons that Rebecca got to break it off with them. Well, that and this. December 1st, 2020 is where our story officially begins. Rebecca's victim posts this message in Rebecca's server and quickly deletes it. Over the course of the year 2020, they had...
I would like to bring up an announcement. I am no longer part of this group. The reason why is because I have been out of control mentally. I've outbursted my anger toward my parents, which isn't great, and it has gotten my parents into very big trouble. I am the one who is responsible. I am the one who must be held accountable for my own actions, and I am the one who is a liar. My father is a disabled veteran, and he has never laid a finger on me, has never mistreated me, has only given me love, respect, and anything I could ever ask for. What I said about Star Giant Productions and my parents was a lie. I shouldn't be talking to those kind of people, nor should I make contact with them. I am not a puppet to my parents, and I am not an abused victim. I don't want to kill myself, and I have no concept of what that really means. I also have no idea how badly word can hurt a human being. If I did more of this slander and lying, I would be in prison, or my family would be in prison, or even a mental institution. I lied to my parents about me doing school, and I lied to my parents about me doing homework. I am responsible for the violation of trust that I have broken to my parents. I am sorry to everyone to make them believe I was the victim in any way. I am nothing but a spoiled, rotten teenage girl who is also a gossiping, mean girl. It wasn't right for me to do any of that bullshit at all. I'm sorry to my friends and family, to the position I have been in. I am also sorry to all of you as well.
Fucking Christ.
Jesus, this shit's so convoluted.
It is.
I will say I'm better at reading than Nekopon. Let's go.
That is very true.
Over the course of the year 2020, they had made many claims of the desire to harm themselves. They made many claims that their parents were abusive. This is due to the fact that Rebecca gaslit her victim into thinking that their parents were abusive in an attempt to try and convince her victim to move in with her. It is also worth noting that this puts what Rebecca has said about her own family into question.
My brother would like to punch me whenever I step out of line, most notably for me eating my boogers, because he believed that he was doing something right and making the world...
I forgot about this. Rebecca's left wing because her brother didn't want her to eat boogers.
better place, or even making my life a better place. So he is basically a social justice warrior at the age of 5. He did this because some kid in his class got made fun of for picking his nose, and that gave my brother the logic of him wanting to make sure that I didn't do that same mistake. You can blame my brother for why I don't like the right. In politics, that is. I am left-leaning, for the record. Liberal.
Rebecca has never had a single positive thing to say about any member of her own family, but with what we now know, it could be misinterpretations, exaggerations, or outright fabrications. Or another part of an attempt to gaslight her victim. Rebecca claimed that her mother came out as transphobic in 2020, yet at the same time, this is the same mother that Rebecca decided to look for lawyers with after my original video. I don't know if Rebecca realizes that any case that her mother is involved in would reveal Rebecca's trans status to her. Apparently, this gaslighting led to police involvement, which prompted the victim's parents to make them write this post. Nekopon used this post to convince Rebecca to get rid of their victim, and Ray Rance also used it in his ongoing campaigns against them. And to everyone else in the group, it painted the victim as a liar that could not be trusted. At this point, they either get removed from the server or they leave of their own accord, and it leaves them almost completely alone. Due to this, over the course of the winter, they try to make amends with various people. The victim even apologizes to Rebecca. Yes, really. Hello, Star. I've come to give you a short apology. I admit to lying about everything about me. I admit to being creepy and clingy. I also admit to not being a good person. I am sorry to those I have hurt, harassed, and to those I have messed with. I am looking back at those horrible events that I've caused, and I've been thinking about them every night, which has also made me regret everything that I've done. All of this should have happened, and I have faced the consequences of this from my parents and me.
This is not a short apology.
No.
I knew that all of this isn't right, and I am hoping that if you would give me a second chance, I won't do any of the same grave mistakes again. And if I did it again, I will be pleased to be called out on, and I will be pleased to admit everything that I have done. Star Giant, do you forgive me? Rebecca, I am glad that you were able to realize the mistakes that you made. If you couldn't hate Rebecca anymore, I swear. This is how Rebecca treats the subject of her grooming and abuse coming back to her. As a part of this apology tour, the victim wants to make it up to Ray Rance, who, once again, has been running ops and harassing them through threatening messages. They pick out a live show hosted by someone named Freakshow Willow, the former identity of Call Me Nil. But something goes wrong. And that something is Mongrel. In the midst of all of this, over the course of the winter, Mongrel develops a burning hatred for Phantom Strider. I don't know exactly the reason, it could be any number of things. Mongrel claims that she was fired. User X states that Mongrel was actually just placed on a lower deck project. Him firing Nekopon might have also had something to do with it. What is known is that this burning hatred leads Mongrel to making a plan. February 18th, 2021. It's a community day in Phantom Strider's Discord server. Mongrel ropes in several others, including User X and Nekopon's boyfriend, Kai, into planning a raid.
Before the whole Neko situation
Personally, I think they should
went
stay
down,
away from Phantom Strider because he might cut their balls off with that knife.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
She wanted to raid Phantom Strider because she believed she was fired from him. And I said, I can join you just to not make things worse. I join her, she gets into an argument, Phantom Strider is very calm and collective and threatened to ban her, and after a few more minutes of that, she was banned. And Strider told me I could either leave on my own accord, or I could get banned as well. And I said, I'll just leave.
Roughly at the same time, she also makes a comment towards Nekopon. I don't know the specifics of this either, but everyone who witnessed it said that it was horribly inappropriate and it involved penetration. And at this point, I do think it's necessary to remind everyone not to feel sympathy for the devil. Nekopon is an admitted groomer who has admitted to doing terrible things. Sexual harassment and an inappropriate joke doesn't come close to the pain that she has inflicted on others.
Why is her avatar's boobs so pointy?
Because horny?
Human boobs are not triangles.
Tell that to Tifa from Final Fantasy VII.
I'm not saying this for anyone to feel sympathetic towards Nekopon. I'm saying it because this was the push that got Nekopon to block Mongrel and get the rest of this friend group to turn on Mongrel. This includes User X, which officially breaks the relationship. At this point, Mongrel becomes a single-minded entity. They no longer have that rage for Phantom Strider, but that rage doesn't disappear. It's just got a new target. Nekopon, the one that they have eyes for. The one that they can't have. The one who has User X in their life. Anger and jealousy and bitterness. Mongrel wants to take Nekopon down, and she knows a little secret about Nekopon. Mongrel knows that Nekopon is a groomer, and she's about to use that fact as a weapon.
You know, I heard red trigger warnings don't work. In fact, they're more harmful than helpful.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Call Me Nil has Rebecca's victim on a Discord server to plan a live stream that is scheduled for noon the next day.
Also, I just want to say, it's funny that he says content warnings, even though trigger warnings would be like a perfect pun.
Yeah.
Ray Rams.
I mean, I was the gun with bullets.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Discussion. Mongrel is also there, and she doesn't give a damn about this apology tour. There is only one thing that Mongrel wants to talk about. She wants the world to know that Nekopon is a groomer, and she links to the Twitter thread about that. Mongrel even claims that she went to the FBI about Nekopon, and it's very clear what Mongrel's motivations are. She projects a lot, claiming that Nekopon has convinced User X that she's a liar, that Nekopon saw User X as becoming closer and decided to stab her in the back. It's at the very least possessive, if not an outright obsession. Ray doesn't believe these allegations for a second, claiming that Nekopon is in the clear. How he believes that, I don't know. Other people in the chat, Call Me Nil included, want to take a more rational, objective look at things. Talk it out. But there is one person in this group who instantly believes the allegations, Rebecca's victim, the person that no one in the group trusts at the moment. And it's here where I have to state that this story is not going to go to happy places. I don't know if Rebecca's victim talked to everyone in the group, but they did talk to User X specifically. Rebecca's victim tries to get User X to understand that they might be a victim of Nekopon, and that Nekopon is a dangerous groomer. But to the entire group, the victim has been painted as a liar. In an attempt to prove themselves, the victim tries to show that they made up with Rebecca, but Rebecca's apology, once again, is, "I am glad that you were able to realize the mistakes that you made." However, the biggest mistake on the part of Rebecca's victim is saying this. Mongrel wants you back. She loves you, and Neko is convincing you that Mongrel lied. Mongrel told me that she only cares about you being safe. This was always doomed to be a disaster. I want to make this abundantly clear before we continue. There was evidence out there that Nekopon was a predator, and there is certainly some blame to the parties involved not doing their due diligence to looking into this. But just for a moment, let's approach the story from the group's perspective. A toxic ex-friend and a partner who is clearly jealous towards your friend, not just a random no one, a friend, inadvertently sends someone you think is an admitted liar to call them one of the worst things imaginable, and then saying that your harasser and cyberstalker wants you back. Yeah, no shit, they didn't believe it. Of course, if that's where the story ended, I wouldn't be telling it. This is not where the story ends. These two groups go to fucking war. Starting in March, Mongrel, with the aid of Call Me Nil, start collecting evidence to take Nekopon down. And I suppose I should talk about exactly who Call Me Nil is. And Nil, if you do end up watching this video, please wait until the end before you do anything at all because of this video. Towards the end, I have words for you specifically. Please do nothing until you get to that point.
I mean, I was wondering
Nil
who,
is a
who this
YouTube
guy was the whole time.
Yeah, same here.
Who focuses on two different areas: making music and getting into business that she shouldn't, such as the Nekopon investigation.
Almost 2 years ago, Nil was involved with an attempt at busting a predator by the name of Nekopon. And it seems like every single thing that happened was a complete and utter dumpster fire. Between trusting Nekopon at their word at one point, to one person by the name of Mongrel not putting in the most damning parts of Neko's actions in a police report, to being used by Neko to silence people, to infighting between who was supposed to bust them, all the way to apparently harassing Indo for some asinine reason. And now I'm getting word that somebody by the name of Pups Wolf, or whatever their name is, tried to entrap Nekopon. Nil knew of this and didn't think to tell anybody until last week.
The most important fact about them that pertains to us is that Nil has brain damage. This is not an insult. This is literally true. A car accident had left them significantly mentally impaired. As such, it can make Nil's motivations odd, if not completely alien. No one I've spoken to knows why Nil does the thing she does. And honestly, that might be just why Nil does it. Unfortunately, this whole Nekopon case got her into predator hunting. And I say unfortunately, because she's proven to be a very manipulatable person. All too often, these stories involve Nil being taken advantage of by morally corrupt people. And this story is no exception. Lyle Convoy made an hour and 20 minutes just trying to explain this to Nil. But almost a year on, it seems like Nil still hasn't learned. And Mongrel and Nil together do some very morally corrupt things. Mongrel tries to contact the many victims of Nekopon, ignoring the fact that many of them don't want to be reminded of this and would prefer to be as anonymous as possible. Nil ends up harassing the friend group, which ends up bolstering their fear. But that pales in comparison to the worst thing that comes of all of this. Mongrel presents a particular image, an illicit image of a minor. It's one that Mongrel believes was and is on Nekopon's computer. The image is of one of Nekopon's victims, and it's either completely uncensored or so poorly censored that it basically doesn't even matter. Mongrel places this in a Google document, then she and Nil pass this Google document around. Mongrel does this by raiding the Discord server of a commentary YouTuber, Harley TBS. This looks to Harley as it does to any and all of you of sane mind. Mongrel gets called out for spreading around illegal pictures of children. If you're wondering, Mongrel has not been arrested for this. But to her credit, she did apologize.
Arigato.
This is so fucked.
Wait till you hear this apology.
Oh god.
I remember this.
Is it gonna be like the toxic gossip train? Please tell me it's a musical number.
I wish.
What?
Okay, and then... Okay. I, Mongrel, am truly sorry for my wrongful actions of sharing images of yours of an illegal nature without realizing the truth of the matter. Wee wop womp woo woo Wayne Yauba on top.
Mongrel also created another document.
What? I don't know what that was.
Did
matter. Wee wop womp woo woo Wayne Yauba on top.
Mongrel also created another document to help give
is that
insights.
A meme?
I don't know.
I don't know if that was just a weird apology or like pure sarcasm.
We need to make public executions legal again. I hate this. I fucking hate this.
Into her psychology. It was called My Mental Health. And yes, it was written entirely in Comic Sans. Comic Sans. And no, as far as I can tell, it's not a joke. Mongrel wanted to make Nekopon look as bad as possible. So she created a document to list the mental health symptoms she alleged Ariana caused in her. This includes urges to manipulate people, following lewd image blogs, and intrusive thoughts of grooming people and assaulting them. Mystic Mongrel is not a stable individual, and everyone seems to know that. And through all of this, she tries to intimidate the group by having a countdown in her Discord profile, trying to make the friend group freak out as it goes lower and lower, making them wonder just what's going to happen. Most of the group just wants to be left alone from Mongrel at this point. The exception is Ray Rance, who goes about documenting evidence, collecting things like Mongrel's Comic Sans scrawlings, and even tries to get a commentary YouTuber of his own involved. Just a robot. Don't ask him about this, I already did for you. And he doesn't remember any of it. Ray is just as deranged as the worst people in the story. He's just a little bit better at hiding it.
I've seen his vids before, but I don't remember anything.
I used to watch a lot of commentary YouTubers and rant YouTubers, and he was legitimately one of the worst that I watched.
Was that back when he still used the fucking robot voice?
Yes.
Okay. He stopped using that.
Oh, thank God. That's a step in the right direction.
I mean, he may have gotten better, but I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
I absolutely hated his content when he was like, when I was watching his stuff. It was just very low quality, like,
yeah,
on the research end, on the production end, on the everything end.
Yeah. There's the spring, he gets increasingly desperate to nail Mongrel and her allies. This includes getting others in the group to covertly record calls and allegedly hack information.
There's also criminal or terroristic grooming, where you manipulate someone through either trust or strong-arming a person into committing a crime.
From these chat logs, I don't know exactly what this is referring to, especially with how non-hackers use the word hacking. They could be breaking into accounts or using people's search tools that aren't illegal per se. But even just through these logs alone, it's clear that Ray is willing to do some desperate shit, and it's pushing the group far past the point of comfort. So at this point, you might be wondering, what the hell does any of this have to do with Rebecca Starlight? So March comes around. While all of this is going on, and Nekopon and Rebecca actually have some friction going on. You remember the ban list, right? How ridiculous it was? I spent much of the year annotating exactly who everyone on it was. People like Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Shea Frillis Production. Well, here's something I discovered in this investigation. Even Nekopon, the child predator, was saying that the ban list was stupid, which is... We need to pause for a moment. I understand to some people that giving this whole video a Danganronpa theme, a theme from a video game, might come across as disrespectful when it's a serious story and serious people were really hurt. I get that. But then you get to moments like this, and there's more than just this one moment, where even Nekopon is criticizing Rebecca's ban list. Like, if I made a video entirely like the last one, you wouldn't believe me, would you? Like, these are the kind of things that only happen in something like the heightened reality of a Danganronpa game. But, no, this is like actually reality. This actually happened. These are events that really took place. And it's not even the most ridiculous part of all of this. Okay, back to the show. Nekopon actually left Rebecca's Discord server for a good amount of time. Why? Rebecca had some new rules around this time. Now, Rebecca's original Discord server was for all ages. However, sometime during the winter of 2020, she changed it up to make sure it was only for people above the age of majority. Because, as per the word of Rebecca...
Yes.
I gotta take a sip of drink.
Okay.
Also, I just didn't want to... No, I don't want to Hassan the video.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to take a second to do something anyway. I feel like given the severity of this situation, it would be appropriate for me to pull out my snake.
Not fair. Do you think we should ban Bill Cosby from our Discord server?
Yes.
Okay.
Loud fireworks going off.
It's 4th of July. Or at least it is for the next 27 minutes.
Yes. Come on.
Do you think we can fade Rebecca to a snake?
In 2 years, yes.
Okay.
Yay, I got her. She was putting up a fight this time.
Oh. Maybe you pissed her off.
A little. She was comfy on her tree branch and I forced her out.
So the first thing you're made sure when the situation happened and stuff like that was making the server for adults only, because you didn't want a repeat of things like Neko, right? Or you didn't want people to have those accusations happen again, or people.
The
or
answer is
like
because I wanted to just speak my mind freely, and sometimes I just send porn in general.
This new server had rules. Two rules that managed to frighten off a few individuals, including Nekopon.
Yeah.
Rule 5. Do not argue with the staff on any issues. The staff say is law of the server. If you have a problem, talk to the high ranks. And Rule 9. And this is the big one. If you are under the age of Discord's COPPA required age limit, which is 13 by the way, do not say your age. Or if you want to be safe, please inform the staff that you have your parents' permission to be on Discord. I should be beyond outraged. Any sane individual should be beyond outraged.
So if you're under 13, just don't say shit. That is a dumb fucking rule.
It's totally not sus at all.
Rebecca is fucking brain dead.
Rebecca is as dumb as her voice makes her sound.
Agreed.
Rebecca literally told people not to state their ages on what I can only assume to be a not safe for work Discord server, one with at least one admitted child predator. But honestly, at this point, I'm just stunned. I'm baffled, I'm flabbergasted. I don't have words to say. While Nekopon did likely leave the server at this point, they were still amicable enough for, once again, this predator to tell Rebecca that she was underpaying her staff. Because even this child predator was criticizing Rebecca for underpaying her staff. My fucking god, what is this story? Besides this utter mindfuck, Rebecca was not a direct part of the war between Ray Rance and Mystic Mongrel. None of them decided to get her involved. The closest thing was Mongrel pulling in one of Rebecca's moderators, Dar the Star, due to her closeness to Rebecca. I have to say some things up front about Dar in particular. I think that their actions make the most sense of anyone we've seen thus far. March 2nd, 2021. They're brought into an evidence chat. She's presented with the evidence. First question, how long has this been going on? And afterwards, she's trying to get to the veracity of each accusation. And being dumped all of this information up front doesn't seem to do good things to Dar's psyche. It is likely that she does try to get word from Nekopon herself, because Dar is trying to get all sides of the story. Nekopon's, Mongrel's, Rebecca's, and the group's. And by March 3rd, Dar is removed from Rebecca's Discord server. According to User X, it was Lily who removed Dar. Dar tries to talk about this to Rebecca, and that gets Dar blocked by Rebecca. And the confusion of all of this does not do good things to Dar. I want to make this abundantly clear. From where I stand, Dar did nothing wrong. Maybe you could argue getting involved in the story at all, but she was a moderator for Rebecca, and doing her due diligence. It got her blocked within a day. Not really knowing why, and feeling guilty over the whole ordeal. Dar's treatment in general is one of the day. Not really.
Like, the whole, I figured you could read it, Justin.
I am reading it.
I mean, read it to us, the audience.
I'm so sorry that I broke you guys' trust without even realizing it. I've been feeling so messed about this to the point where I'm not thinking straight. I've been losing my mind over all of this, and I'm losing my mind over the fact that I hurt my friends. I say or do stupid shit when I'm not in the best mental state. I'm willing to make things right. I just need to know how I can make things right, and thus improve myself, and prove that I'm being serious about making things right. I'll stop now until you're ready to talk. And
What's that say at the bottom?
She doesn't have to forgive me, especially not right away. I just need it to be known. That's all for now.
Okay.
Knowing why, and feeling guilty over the whole ordeal. Dar's treatment in general is one of the worst aspects of this entire story, and it doesn't get better as we go along. This back and forth could literally go on forever. Mongrel was determined to get Nekopon arrested, or off the internet, or dead, or honestly probably all of them. And Ray just has this obsessive hatred that doesn't seem to ever go away, to this day. Before bitching about Mongrel for half a year, he was constantly running similar ops towards Rebecca's victim, trying to get them off the internet. And afterwards, Ray would continue making a response video after a commentary video talking about Rebecca. And after all of this, he's probably gonna turn on me, continue making a response video after...
What is it?
I'm looking at the fact that this Ray Rance guy gets semi-decent views, and I'm surprised that this hasn't gone, like, further than it has.
Oh, what's his views? Because I can't see.
13K for the top video and 9.4K for the bottom video.
Okay. To be clear, I'm watching from OBS. That's
Okay.
why I can't fucking read shit.
Gotcha.
Talking about Rebecca. And after all of this, he's probably gonna turn on me. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, let me make this absolutely clear. I have no fond feelings for Rebecca or for Mystic Mongrel. I have no sympathy towards anything either of these individuals have gone through at the hands of Ray. I feel sympathy for those dragged into it, especially Ray's girlfriend, who was underage for a good part of the story. But you know what I also don't have any fond feelings for? A fucking hypocrite. As the Nekopon saga ended, Ray Rance turned his commentary to shit-talking Rebecca. After all, there was plenty worthy of critiquing. Underpaying her staff, him included, plagiarizing others, being a shitty editor, everything we've already discussed. However, there was that thing about Rebecca's biggest mistake, defending Nekopon for 8 months, from November 2020 to August 2021. And to be fair, Ray Rance didn't do that. No, Ray Rance only defended Nekopon until June of 2021. French Fry, one of the members of the group, was able to discover some DMs that Ray Rance had tried to have buried. Back in December of 2020, Ray Rance is talking with a minor, and it's getting incredibly inappropriate. He gets confirmation of Rage, and it just keeps going. Ray's defense was and is that she came on to him. This was also Rebecca's defense for wanting to move in with her victim, by the way, because by now I am fairly convinced that these two are the same fucking person, right down to the goddamn speech impediment.
So for most people that probably already talked.
I'm so glad that Mr. Enter mentioned it, and I'm not the only one thinking it.
I made this far, but I forgot that he mentioned that.
Bro, Star Giant just left a Predator in the server for 8 months while she was just so busy building up her self-esteem and trying to get her famous status back, typical shit she does.
But here's some standout DMs for all of you to make your own decisions.
I don't see anything inherently... Oh God.
What?
I didn't see anything inherently sexual right away, and then I saw the top message on the right-hand side.
Is that a minor?
Yes, 15.
Okay, and Ray Rance is not a minor.
No, 20.
Okay. I'm gonna go take a piss.
Okay.
Real quick. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm gonna play with my snake while you're gone.
Okay, I'm gonna have my snake spit.
Alright. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Something, something, something. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Also, I just lost the game. And my snake is hugging my hand. She's so cute.
I'm back.
All right. We had fun while you were gone.
Okay, my feet seem to hurt. You want to kiss it?
No.
Oh.
I spoke the first verse of Never Gonna Give You Up and then said I lost the game, so...
Oh.
If
Okay.
anybody gets this far into the video, they'll be a little upset.
Oh. Or they might just be like, what the fuck are you going on about?
Okay, I'm gonna make this clear. If you don't
Yeah.
know the song Never Gonna Give You Up, click off this video right now. You're not welcome here.
Okay, I mean, that one's fair, but I meant more so the game.
If you don't know what the game is, I guess I can let it slide.
Yeah. Zara didn't know what it was.
Yeah, true. Okay. This shit is...
Convoluted or fucked? Which one were you gonna say?
Well, honestly, it's both, but I was trying to think of a new word, and I can't think of any words. All
This
right.
shit is crazy.
Alright, let's do this.
By the way, who are you cheering on to win?
Mr. Enter.
Okay. I'm in for Frylock.
Oh, god damn it.
What?
The messages are getting worse.
What messages?
On the screen?
I don't know. I can't read it again. Sorry.
Okay, then what's wrong? You think I might hate you? Do you really want to know? I'm not repeating this. It's a 15-year-old.
Yeah, I see.
And yes, as I mentioned, the Lily in the story was 17. At the time, Ray was 20 years old exactly, as opposed to Rebecca being in her mid-20s. The legality of Ray and Lily's situation is much more in flux, because depending on where they lived, Romeo and Juliet laws can vary between 2 years to 4 years. No matter what though, it's still more than a little sus, especially because Ray was taking advantage of Lily and pulling her into this fucking shit. Ray was blocked, and as far as I can tell, this is what broke the friend group apart. The ops finally stop, and around this time, Endo is able to break through to one of the users, French Fry, and French Fry breaks through to user X. The Discord server where much of this happened, the safe haven, was soon after deleted. As for Necopon, she goes dark. Her last social media posts are dated from July of 2021. August, her account gets booted from Rebecca's server. The social media posts are dated from July.
Where's the progress?
Is that what that's supposed to be?
Yes.
Wait, really? That's hilarious.
Top comment from Nekopan. Thought I'd share my progress with my weight loss over the 3 years. I'm super proud of the results. Gotta keep going. I feel like a dickhead, but where's the results?
I think she gained results.
2021. August, her account gets booted from Rebecca's server due to inactivity. The last relevant message about Necopon is given in early August. Amanda says, "We got her to stop getting updates on what the other group was doing now, and we're just trying to go about our lives." So where does that leave everyone else? French Fry backed away from Necopon. User X learned that Necopon was bad, and actually ended up apologizing for the activity in all of this. Ray at least does admit that Necopon is a predator now, if only to get at Stargiant. As for Stargiant, though...
You are all owed an explanation, and if you must cut...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What, the voice or is a giant...
The length
wall
of this
text?
message. The voice is fine. I haven't heard any major issues with the voice, but my God, that's a long message.
I mean, it's a good thing it's not Star Giant who's reading it.
Oh God, if it was Star Giant reading it, I would quit the video and just stop
Or
recording and
Necopon.
upload it here.
It'd be worse if Necopon was reading
God.
it. It'd take like 3 times as long.
Eyes with me forever, I will not blame you. All I ask is that you hear me out. In February 2021, a person came up to me about her being a groomer. I could not find any evidence indicating that she was one. In August 2021, a group of people came up to me telling me to get rid of her. So I gave in and fired and blocked her. I unfortunately do not have the screenshots to provide my side, as that was on an old Discord account. Let me be clear, I do not support ever. If Ariana, her real name, is an actual, then I want her arrested. As of right now, she is not in prison. I do not consider myself guilty in all of this. If I am found guilty, then I will take the consequences of my actions. A lot of the wiki editing was them claiming that I supported groomers. I do not. There is a specific reason I do not talk to minors online. So if me stating that I don't support groomers is vandalism, then I am a vandal. I have not contacted a single member of Enter's team since June of 2023, when I sent that angry DeviantArt note to John. The only thing since then that I ever done was edit this wiki on Enter's site that claimed that I supported groomers. The site always within 24 hours reverts the edit and still accused me of a crime. So a few nights ago, I jokingly wrote I did nothing wrong, just to see what would happen. Then someone re-edited, I think it was Sarah, and he said, "Nice try, Rebecca." I only ever edited the site a total of 6 times. 5 if you don't count that joke. Any other stuff of me harassing was in my addressing my abuse video. Oh, and John is saying that my campaign is fraud, even though I stated everything in the campaign. She has not been arrested to this day, but people are still thinking that I helped her with her grooming when I never did. In March 2023, I was in a VC with Lyle and the Senate. They were telling me to go along with something. I did not comply. The something was to do an extra call. I gave them an extended time. I did
Sorry, I
2023.
keep
I was
forgetting
in
you
a
can't
VC.
read it. It was a group call. Rebecca has never been in Senate.
Okay, I don't know what Senate
Lyle
means.
and the Senate. They were telling me to go.
I'm assuming it's, what the fuck is the term? You know how you can have, like in a Discord server, you can have, like, different, like, group things, like, people have, like, different levels of, like, member tags or whatever, and different member tags have different permissions. I forget what that's called. I'm drawing a blank.
Tags?
No, either way, I'm assuming that Senate is the name of that particular group, probably moderators of some sort.
Okay.
Along with something. I did not comply. The something was to do an extra call. I gave them an extended time to send screenshot evidence. They did not comply. Phineas tried to get me to do the same thing in October of 2023. I again did not comply. And he got me banned from Scaferellis' server. Whatever you think of me after today is fine. I'm not gonna add you onto any list. And I am done with YouTube. I will not make another video again. I'm done. Even if I did win, I just don't have the motivation anymore. This is Rebecca Starlight, signing out for the very last time.
Faith.
Oh, thank God. So Rebecca's done?
I mean, do you trust her to be done?
God damn it, good point. Fuck!
To the bitter fucking end. An unsatisfying, bitter fucking end. I think we're all in agreement that the story shouldn't have ended here, that there should be consequences for the terrible things that these people have done. Nekopon groomed people, drew not safe for work images of a real-life minor and shared it. Rebecca groomed someone. Both Nil and Mongrel shared illegal images of a minor in very public areas. Not to mention everything that Ray Rance did, cyberstalking and seriously harassing people. Apparently even hacking, by his own admission, to put in a police form, which, beyond being illegal, is just fucking stupid. If you're wondering where in the world is Nekopon, I don't know. A lot of people in the story have claimed that they made some report against someone, either Nekopon or Mongrel. However, besides Mongrel spending a few days in jail for something completely unrelated, as far as I can tell, no one has properly been dealt justice. And I mean, there is the chance that literally everyone is lying, which I do want to state is a possibility. But even with that possibility, I myself know that I personally walked down to the police station to talk about my own issues with Rebecca. It was specifically about her illegally recording me, which falls under wiretapping. And you want me to tell you how it went? The police ended up telling me, what is Discord? That's not a joke. That's literally what happened. I understand.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Police are fucking stupid.
And the temptation to just tell anyone who is telling a story like this, go to the police. That's what they're for. But experiencing all of this stuff first and even secondhand, I really can understand why people would prefer to go to online predator hunters, like Mama Max or Lyle Convoy.
Ew.
Not that that's a good option either.
Ooh, slurs.
Hell yeah.
We're now in the summer of 2021. Nekopon is completely missing in action. No one is publicly defending her, except Rebecca. Sometimes. Occasionally. When she feels like it. Her protectors have broken apart. Ray Rance has shifted to making terrible response videos about Rebecca. The only remnant of all of this is Mystic Mongrel, trying to reconnect with User X, who wants nothing to fucking do with her, and things go quiet for a while. That is until the winter of 2022. We go to the YouTube user Techno. I don't know the exact date because Techno nuked his entire channel. What I do know is that he made videos not only criticizing Rebecca, and me apparently, but he ran this series called Internet Horrors, which was there to document the strange and criminal that occupies the internet. Think people like Cosmodor. It's a show that users like That Creepy Reading or Blame It on George do today. Rosa Ray Ramsey is having a feud with a YouTuber, Zaid Magenta, formerly known as Miss Anthropony. And by feud, I mean that she constantly harasses him.
I remember Miss Anthropony. Oh God! Why?
I do too.
Oh God! Why do I have to know so many of the names involved in this? Even one name is too many.
It's because you used to be a brony.
I hate
you
my
still
life.
kind of are a brony.
Barely.
You're all connected. You're all blood.
I barely consider myself a brony. I like one My Little Pony musical artist.
But you like the pony memes.
Okay, fair.
Spam posts about him. She goes on Techno's live stream to try and ask to have Zaid Magenta, and full disclosure, me, be put on Techno's Internet Horrors series. One thing that you should know is that Techno was part of an internet sphere called the Senate. The Senate was a barbarian Discord server run by Lyle Convoy, who has two very different realms of occupation on the internet. Talking about nerd shit, like, once again, full disclosure, rightfully calling out my terrible take on Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and also hunting predators and other degenerates. The Senate as a whole was tied to many stories, for better or worse. From Carmen Rider to Hypnotist Sappho to, of course, Nekopon. As a barbarian server, it could get very out of hand, and it did, constantly. Many of Lyo's former associates were kicked out of the group for doing something incredibly egregious. Zaid was kicked to the curb for telling people that he wanted them to get shut up by gangs. Coyote Lovely was kicked out for running an op where he would flirt with Hypnotist Sappho for over 2 months. And Hopeless Peaches, who was second in command, is a story that could fill the ocean. To be clear, Lyo himself abhors these tactics, and he did take the first two to task when they were caught. And he couldn't do it to Peaches, because Peaches burned and ran. Lyo would meet Rosa Ray Ramsey on Techno's stream, as they duked it out over what I can only assume is the most wholesome of discussion.
Do you know what the word hypocrisy means?
I do so know.
All right, then do you recognize that you are in fact a hypocrite?
More likely.
Good. At least you'll admit that. At least you're honest about one thing in your awful life. So let's go ahead and continue down this road. I asked you, what is one of your favorite cartoons? Do you have an answer yet?
At some point, Rosa let the Nekopon story slip.
I didn't ask if she was one of your friends, because you said she is your friend. Oh, that doofus who also failed to report a child predator in her own server and consistently dodges people who want to ask about it? That person? Yeah, she did.
We didn't know we didn't
yeah,
know about what she was. We didn't know what this person was doing until.
What person am I referring to right now?
Until we finally kicked them
What
out.
person am I referring to in this case?
Nekopon?
Yeah, and to this day, Stargiant refuses to talk about it. In fact, Stargiant told me that unless there has been a court case, you can't call somebody a child predator.
I didn't know about. Me and my friend Rebecca didn't know about what Nekopon was doing behind our back because we had to deal with someone else who was.
Is this autistic internet blood sports?
Yes.
Okay.
Who was lying. This person was known as. And
a child predator?
Well, let's just say she's a.
I don't want to. If you ever say, let's just say again, I'm going to lose. If you say, let's just say again, I'm going to genuinely lose my temper with you. Do you want that?
No.
Now, let me be very clear here.
Fuck,
I don't care. That's what I do.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
Care because I don't like liars, which is why I don't like you. Because lying, that is a lot less condemning than being a child predator. Do you understand me?
Well, let's just say we didn't know that what Nekopan was doing behind our backs. Until
And you
eventually...
didn't listen when you were told. You didn't listen when you were told. Because Call Me Nil has been trying to get a hold of your little buddy for a while now and has actively avoided her. Consistently. And avoids me too. You were more concerned with lying to you than you were the fact that you had a child predator.
Nekopan was wrong, and then eventually we kicked her out.
Eventually. You eventually kicked her out. How long between finding out the information and removing her was it?
I'm gonna say, like... I lost track. It's been, like, a long...
Was it days?
I have to be honest. The situation, like the main broad strokes of this story are horrifying and sad and fucked up. But when you get into the deeper details of it, it's just comically stupid.
It really is.
Probably.
It took you
But-
days to remove a child predator when you knew
I
it.
think it was, like...
It took you days?
Probably.
Days? It should have taken you 5 goddamn seconds!
It sounds so fake angry.
I know.
It's like, I know this is how I need to react for clicks, but I don't know how to actually act like I'm angry.
Yeah.
It was probably...
very forced.
Yes.
Like 4 days.
4 days between finding out someone in your server is a child predator and removing them. Are you stupid?
But for reasons that I do not and will never understand, Rosa agreed to come onto a stream with Lio on his own channel, January 9th, 2023. It does not go well. At this point, I need to make two things clear. For my Rebecca video back in March, I did get help from Lyle Convoy, which I did state in that video. And even with him about to say, I do not regret my decision. He had information that I absolutely needed for the Nekopan portion of the video. And as Rebecca was tangential to Nekopan, he had a lot of information on her that was extremely useful. He also gave me this video of Mystic Mongrel cracking an egg on her head. I don't know where or when he got it, but he's the one I got it from. I will also state that he didn't take direct participation in our investigation, if you're curious about that. At present though, through investigation for this video, his character flaws and his investigative skills have revealed themselves to be far too troubling for me to tolerate in any regard. Going Jack Bauer on the mentally handicapped is only the tip of the iceberg, and I will be making it known each moral and technical failing that I've identified. And if a man is willing to dish it out, I hope the man can take it.
And if somebody comes in saying they're going to kill themselves, we remove them immediately. That's our responsibility. It's how we have to do things. Because I've had to sit here in call with somebody with an armed gun who has threatened to do so. I had to take on that responsibility. I chose to. So nobody else here would have to. That's why the rules are the way they are.
The other thing I need to make clear is about Rosa Ray Ramsey. Despite this being one of the most talked about aspects of the entire debacle, there is still a ton of mystery about her and around her. There's a few reasons for that. Rosa Ray Ramsey is an epileptic who has seizures or medication that ends up causing memory loss. She also has PTSD and is very likely on the spectrum. There are rumors that she's bedbound, but as far as I can tell, those are not true. Despite all of this, Rosa Ray Ramsey has done bad things. She harassed Rebecca's victim, sending them gore, and she has harassed Zaid Magenta, and has likely done this to other people as well. None of Rosa's...
So, I might be wrong, but looking at these screenshots, it seems like the gore that was sent was screenshots of anime.
Okay, but I would assume if it was like actual gore, he wouldn't show it for reasons.
Well, I would say show the tweet with the gore censored at least.
Oh, he might have. It might have been DMs. I don't know.
Okay, fair.
But I mean, that's obviously a very different thing.
Yeah.
But I still get that. Even anime gore is still kind of a threat, I guess, if the person's sensitive.
Yeah, I guess.
Zaid Magenta, and has likely done this to other people as well. None of Rosa's disabilities excuse this. Whether or not she was pushed or pressured or influenced by anyone, Rebecca, Nekopan, anyone, she is a person with agency. And even beyond all of that, Rosa has been proven to be dishonest.
I just didn't know this person. I just didn't know.
This is a lie. She harassed one of Nekopan's victims.
Nekopon.
Yeah, you did.
She does tell objective and outright lies in both of the calls. Speaking of that, the greatest mystery that no one has been able to solve is, was Rosa Ray Ramsey able to do anything about Nekopon at all? That's what all of these calls are about. Rosa Ray Ramsey was a moderator. That much is confirmed. But beyond that, you're not going to get a straightforward answer. As we've established in the last video, Nekopon was not only a moderator, but an artist as well, in Rebecca's server. And with any terms of logic, staff would outrank typical moderators. I also know for a fact that Rebecca should have known this. In my own public server, we did have an issue with a moderator. Nothing as serious as this, but we had a problem where they were deleting the comments of other moderators because they got over-emotional. Maybe because of this or due to Rebecca being Rebecca, she had 5 levels of moderation. And here's the cherry on the sundae. No one fucking knows what any of them meant. Rosa was apparently given the best friends moderation role, which might have been the highest level of moderation, or it was the level of moderation that she handed out like candy to random newcomers. Because Rebecca Starlight is not a logical individual, and she does shit on a whim. She does not have the capability of planning out a layered system like this. Even people who were in the server at the time, who were moderators in the server at the time, like Dar,
I love
Rebecca's
just how
victim.
much he emphasizes how fucking stupid she is.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
I do not fucking remember how Rebecca's moderation system worked. Anyone who is outright stating that Rosa could have done anything does not have the objective knowledge to state that. And honestly, I have to believe quite the contrary. Remember Dar? I have to reiterate, she was a moderator. She heard of Nekopon's allegations. Within 24 hours of that, she was blocked and removed from the server without being told why. And she was removed by another moderator, the 17-year-old Lily. I have no reason to believe that if Rosa tried to talk to Rebecca about this, the same thing wouldn't have happened. Should Rosa have talked to Rebecca about this? Yes. Could Rosa have actually done anything? No. So, what proceeds is 5 hours across 2 separate calls of just the most indescribable shit. Everyone calls out the 4-hour-long one, and we will get there, but let's start out with the original 1-hour call on Lio's channel at present. Cause, it's not pretty either.
Don't you tell me if only I don't care how you met Star Giant Productions. I couldn't care less if you met her in the back of a doggone Taco Bell sucking off dick. I don't care.
A lot of this call.
Jesus!
I like how he had to say god dang instead of goddamn, but talks about sucking dick.
He's just a good country Christian boy.
He's a character, that's for sure. Holy shit.
Back of a doggone Taco Bell sucking off dick.
Oh, he said doggone, not god dang.
A lot of this call, a lot of both of these calls, is about Zayd Magenta's opinion on Star Wars.
Alright, so Zayd has a lot of opinions about Star Wars. I don't understand how that's such a big deal.
Which, I don't give a shit. I don't think anyone who's made it this far in the story gives a shit. But I do have to make it known. So much of these calls, the first one especially, is about talking about Zayd Magenta's opinions on Star Wars. And it's incredibly annoying for these calls to be pushed in that direction when they should be about more serious matters. The stuff that isn't about Star Wars in the first call, most of the rest of it is Lio Convoy insulting Rosa.
What do you mean I didn't show up? I was here at 4. Where were you, you lazy
Wait, who is
garbage?
Zayd?
What do you mean I
isn't about Star?
I'm not sure. I'm having trouble keeping track of everyone.
And so these were supposed to be calls about the fucking all the illegal shit going on, but a lot of it was just fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, apparently. So I was right. It is autistic blood sports.
I mean, I'm autistic, and I think Star Wars is boring as shit.
I liked the prequels, and that was it. And the only reason I liked the prequels is because shit actually happened. It might not have been good shit, it might not have been well done, but shit happened.
When did you watch them?
It was Thanksgiving of 2021 or 2022.
Oh, did you go back and just watch all of them, or?
Yes, I watched every Star Wars movie.
Okay. And so you actually like the prequels the best?
Yes, the prequels were batshit insane, and things were actually going on, and it was exciting. Even if it wasn't well done, and even if the acting was kind of corny, at least things were going on.
Yeah, I get that. What would you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would have to go two different rating systems, one for quality and one for entertainment. For quality, a 3 or a 4, and for entertainment, probably a 6.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's kind of like the vibes I was getting.
And then the original trilogy, I like the idea of Star Wars, but the actual execution was just...
yeah.
I had trouble staying awake.
Yeah, same. I was really fucking bored through them.
And then the new trilogy, it's not Star Wars. It doesn't feel like Star Wars at all. And this has nothing to do with, oh, the main character's a woman, or blah, 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 SJW, no, it didn't feel like Star Wars.
Even the one that was literally just like a rip-off of the first movie.
They did a terrible job ripping it off.
No, that's seriously like beat for beat, like a lot of like just the exact same.
Yeah, I know.
Or the first one, yeah. Which is kind of weird.
I think the biggest issue that I had, like, other than, the vibe of it, the biggest thing I had is that they really fucked over Luke Skywalker's character a lot. And I didn't like how they did it.
And see, you're saying that, and you're not even a fan of the originals.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have not seen the Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. I just saw the other one.
I don't remember what they were called.
Episode 7 is the 7th one.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah. And then I haven't watched any of the Han Solo.
The Force Awakens,
movie.
that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Also, I heard that movie sucked.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of those side movies.
Yeah, I feel like just the concept of Star Wars is more interesting than Star Wars.
My favorite thing from the Star Wars franchise, and I don't know if anybody's even ever heard of this other than maybe 15 people. Have you heard of the Galaxy of Fear saga?
I don't think so.
It's a book series for teens, and I read it when I was a kid, and I absolutely fucking adored it. It was so well written.
Yeah, I read some of the books when I was younger. But I don't think there were any, like, big books or anything.
Yeah, these were like, I think there was like 15 or 16 books in the series, but each one was like maybe 150, 200 pages.
Yeah, I don't know if they may have been that long, but they were, I think, younger kid books.
Oh, okay. Alright. Now that we've had our required discussion about Star Wars during the video about... it's time to get back.
I mean, it's kind of on topic, because,
yeah,
these guys went on Star Wars tangents, and we went ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
George in the first call, most of the rest of it is Lio Convoy insulting Rosa.
What do you mean I didn't show up? I was here at 4. Where were you, you lazy piece of garbage? To take a little sleep, because Lord knows you could use the beauty sleep. I've seen photos of you. Why didn't you, in the depths of your ignorance, decide to tell people you're going to bed and you might not be here on time?
Like, right out of the gate. Rosa did come 4 hours late to the call, which is definitely bad, but,
Hey, retard, pay attention! Pay attention! And I hate having to use that word. I apologize, I should not have. And more
Hold on!
Pay attention!
Immediately walks it back. Come on, have some fucking balls, man.
I lost all my respect for this man.
Yes. I mean, yes, it's bad to say retard, but if you're gonna say it with your fucking chest. Don't walk it back immediately.
Look, some people do deserve to be called a retard.
I don't know if this particular person deserves it. I'm not sure.
Star Giant Productions does.
Yes, Star Giant Productions. Rebecca is a retard. Continuing on.
I mean, to be fair, this guy might be a retard himself.
Yes, true.
He's at least a spaz.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely bad, but
Hey, retard, pay attention! Pay attention! And I hate having to use that word. I apologize, I should not have. And more importantly, I care a lot about disabled people. I care very deeply for that. I apologize for calling you retarded, because I've met people who have mental retardation. They are very sweet, very kind people.
If you have great care for people with developmental disabilities, you would say people with developmental disabilities, not people with mental retardation. Shut the fuck up, loser.
I think he's trying to, like, make up a big jab. He's probably gonna say something like, "Oh, look, I know these actual, like, retards, but they still have more sense than you." I bet that's where it's going. Let's see.
And they're smarter than you.
Oh, you were right!
Listen to that word a lot, by the way. It comes up a lot.
Yeah, no fucking shit, retard. No shit, retard. No shit, retard. I'm asking why you won't even abide your own standards.
Now, this group has been called out time and time and time again for their ableism. That is absolutely worth commenting on. But at this point, I don't have time or the wherewithal to be redundant on any of this. If you want people to go on and on about every single slur that's said, you can find those videos elsewhere. In matters as serious as this, we have to put our emotions on the back burner and tackle things rationally. What is Rosa being accused for here? I'm sorry, what's Rosa being assumed to be guilty for? Letting a predator stay in the server for 8 months. I have to make this clear. That is a bad thing to do. That is a terrible thing to do. And there should absolutely be consequences for it. Mental disabilities or otherwise. But I have to ask, what do any of these theatrics accomplish? The friend group did what both Rebecca and now Rosa is being accused of. Some, like Ray Rance, went even further, and while being tormented by Mongrel is an explanation, it does not excuse what transpired. But you notice how I've gotten all of these DMs and all of these answers from user X who is culpable, and how Lio got, like, nothing from all of this? You know how I did that, right? I asked for them. Calmly. I didn't turn this into an internet blood sport, because getting the important answers is what's supposed to be important in situations like this. It's more important than telling the guilty party,
"You deranged lunatic." Just say, "You lying, worthless piece of garbage."
I have more than a few things that I want to say about Lio and his work at this point, but I think the point of the matter is to systematically reveal his failings in this case, so they do not happen again. People have gotten hurt due to how this whole thing was handled, and not just Rosa. Rosa was not the only Star Giant mod called up. Dar was as well. The call has not been leaked or released as of the making of this video, and I hope for everyone's sake it does not get released. I'm not going to say exactly what happened in it for the sake of Dar's privacy.
I am going to say that going after Dar in this internet blood sporty fashion seems super bad form, even if Dar's not a good person. Just the little bit that I've heard of them speaking...
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as I know, they're the most innocent in this situation.
Yeah, that too. But it feels like kicking a puppy with Down syndrome.
Well, I mean, it's probably that avatar there. He's got puppy eyes. It's not super well drawn, but it's cute. It's cute.
But I will say that it did not end well. The Rosa call doesn't end well. Towards the end, Lio is threatening to call Rosa's parents about all this.
Let me be very clear here. Make sure you clean the gunk out of your ears instead of closing your window so you can understand me.
I'm sorry, what?
Make sure you clean the gunk out of your ears so you can understand me.
I heard that part, but then he said something about windows.
Gunk out of your ears instead of closing your window so you can understand me.
Closing your window? Is that like, is he
Instead
talking
of closing your window, so I guess you can hear better? I don't know.
This guy's weird.
You have made yourself an absolute spectacle. You are a complete freak show. You hang around with the worst of possible people who you think are going to enable and abet you. So here's what's going to happen. You need to knock off the nonsense. Which means, by the way, stop schizo posting about Zaid. Stop obsessing over him. Stop talking about him. Because if I keep catching you do it, this is going to happen again and it's going to be worse. Because next...
Bro!
I love just the blatant hypocrisy about making a spectacle.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. the other part is this idea that you're like internet dad and you're gonna turn someone over your knee and give them a spanking if they don't listen. Like, bro, all I have to do is fucking block you, and you can never do shit to me. Fuck off.
Maybe this is a kink thing.
Maybe.
Step, since you made it very clear that you can't control yourself, I'm contacting your parents. And I don't want to have to. I shouldn't have to. But it's very clear to me that you can't follow instructions.
And all in all, literally nothing is accomplished. They get nothing out of Rosa. In fact, it can seem as if Rosa is entirely unaware of the situation. While that can absolutely be frustrating, it is no excuse to lose your temper.
Because the truth of the matter is, you will idealistically shack up with anybody who will give you the right type of attention, which is why you're hanging out with Peach the Witch, aka Mongrel.
Then why did she help me with emotional support?
Because she is a mentally stunted, deranged lunatic who thinks she's everybody's hero despite the fact that she screws up literally everything she touches. Hate to tell you this, stupid, but just because somebody's nice to you doesn't mean they're a good person.
Fucking Christ.
He sounds like my dad giving a lecture.
Does your dad also have a southern accent like that?
No.
Oh. I'm going to pretend he looks like Lionel from Thundercats, though.
Mongrel has an axe to grind against this server because I did the one thing her parents failed to. I told her the truth. And she did not like it. There's a reason why she lives in her car. There's a reason why she just went to jail for a few days. She is the biggest issue with all of her own problems, but instead she thinks it's everybody else's fault. She refuses to take responsibility just like you do.
I have no idea exactly what Lyle meant about that. I did ask him about Mystic Mongrel, but I don't think I got a very concrete answer. Beyond, she's a scumbag, a degenerate, or in it for clout. Also, here's this video where she admits to spreading CP. I had to put most of these pieces together myself. Like, I wasn't told that she was friends with Nekopon at one point, or that she sexually harassed Nekopon at one point. Either the Tecmo stream or the first Rosa call is apparently how Endo and Lyle Convoy got together. And Endo enlisted Lyle Convoy to help expose Nekopon. What follows is quite the showcase. I want to make something abundantly clear, adamantly clear. In this next chapter, I am going to be critical of Endo. I am going to have some questions of Endo's honesty. It will not be pretty. However, Endo was groomed by Nekopon. This is an objective fact. I have no patience for dipshits like Stardust, who make reaction videos and make fun of Endo for talking about being groomed, just because they hate Lyle Convoy. Endo was groomed by Nekopon, and I will ban anyone who doubts that fact, and I am not afraid to name and shame. There is evidence, there is testimony, there is witnesses, and there is literally zero doubts that Nekopon groomed Endo. Endo was not the only victim of Nekopon, but they were a victim and they were significantly hurt. With that in mind, let's talk about Rosa's last stand.
Oh, we got more slurs and ableism. Aren't you excited?
Oh, yeah.
This is a 4-hour behemoth of a video on the Senate that took place on January 31st, 2023, a few mere weeks after the first call. It was leaked in February of 2024, for reasons that we will get into, but the calendar in the video clearly shows the date and time. The behavior in this video is inexcusable. There's no way to beat around the bush. And if given the choice between watching Rebecca's Addressing My Abuse or this one, I'd watch Rebecca's video 5 times without blinking, for 3.5 hours. This woman is insulted in just about every way imaginable, until it's finally shot down by Ponder Sprocket stepping in and telling off everyone, with the help of Harley TBS.
Admittedly, I haven't been here for very long, so I didn't hear the start of the conversation, but I do need to ask, do you guys actually think that the throwing of insults and blatant, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, this is bullying. Do you really think that this is helping, or do you think that this is just gonna make Rose feel like she's the victim in this situation? Do you
I don't know, I think it's
she's going
funny.
to maybe victimize herself because
God
you are
damn.
actively bullying her and apparently have been doing it for 4 hours?
Harley TBS, if you're wondering, is someone that Hopeless Peaches tried to poison the mind of Lyle Convoy against. And when these two finally show up, and ruin Peach's fun, Peaches runs like a worm. Lyle Convoy gets a lot of the criticism for this call, as he should. This is his house, and what happens in it is his responsibility. But
Do you
for
know
the first
anything about
hour
Hopeless
of the call,
Peaches?
No. I think I've heard the name in passing, but I know nothing about the content, the person, nothing.
Okay, I've seen stuff on it, but I just don't remember much.
He's not even available.
Which one of these things is worse? It's a simple question. I don't need an essay answer. Which one of these things is worse? Okay, when I say stop, that's exactly what I mean. I don't need to say it in multiple different languages. Everybody can be able to understand what stop means. I mean, you don't.
That's a good joke.
Yeah. Still.
It's
okay,
not
so I'm not done. I am not done. I'm still speaking. I have the conch. I am speaking. So, real quick.
Which is beyond unprofessional. This is a call talking about how someone dealt with, or rather, didn't deal with a predator. This is a serious matter. So serious that you couldn't, I don't know, schedule the call for an hour later when you had the opportunity to sit down and focus. Most of the shit show, however, is run by Hopeless Peaches, who is allegedly drunk.
I'm part of the LGBT, so you can trust me easy, so go tell me.
I know, but
I got my drink poured. Go ahead.
Allegedly. Throughout the entire video, he is entirely on the attack like a schoolyard bully, coming right out of the gate with slurs and all manner of terrible language.
Even answer that. How old are you?
Why would you care about this?
I asked you a simple question. Can you not count that high? You can either apologize for what you actually did, or you could turn around and say, you know what, Blue? I'm not sorry because I don't understand because I'm a retard. Rosa, I'll help you. I will help you right now. I will help you. I will give you that grace. You're not here to be helped, dickhead. Just because we understand doesn't mean we care. Hold on, let her cook. I want to know this backstory. I've been waiting for so long for the anime backstory. Let's go. Let's go, anime sluthole backstory.
Rosa, is that you?
No, that's me. I'm giggling.
Peaches is clearly far more interested in mocking and making fun of Rosa, to the point of even giggling at times. Peaches also uses legit manipulation tactics. There's one moment in the call where he's asking Rosa how she's doing, which sounds uncharacteristically sincere.
I'm gonna ask now that we're so far. Rosa, how are you feeling?
Just not sure what to say right now.
But it's actually a tactic to confuse someone's sense of trust. And all of this goes on long past the point where Rosa is literally begging to leave the call.
I just don't know. Please.
Oh, you don't know. I told you, you have two choices
let
here.
Me leave.
You had two choices. Which one's it going to be? You're not leaving until you make a choice.
Go.
You're not.
All I have to say about this part so far is all of these people are fucking dickheads. They're all worthless scumbags. But Rosa could have just left at any point.
I think Rosa is mentally unwell, and that's why.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, but I still think, logging off was...
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, this is... I think he said earlier that, this is the person he said has seizures, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like they're so fucked that they're afraid to leave. That's what I guess the way to put it.
Okay.
Even until you make a choice.
There is no way to describe this behavior as other than abhorrent. But let's put our emotions aside. A lot of the people in this call were victims of grooming. Endo, Hopeless Peaches, Blueweed, so on. And so what actually ended up happening is that many of them ended up projecting their trauma onto Rosa Ray Ramsey. Wild Convoy even says this.
The only person more culpable other than Star Giant is Necopon themselves. So congratulations, you're the bronze medal here. Star's the silver, Negopon's the gold.
So what this essentially becomes is, couldn't get the groomer, couldn't get Star Giant Productions, so you'll have to do, take their lumps. It doesn't help that people are putting words in Rosa's mouth, especially Peaches. Remember, Rosa Ray Ramsey has memory issues, according to her own words.
Yes, I'm epileptic.
Okay, and I'm a cripple. What's your point?
Well, I had seizures in my life since when I was young. And the effects of it could cause memory loss. This is why I forget sometimes. I forget the years that happened.
She asks this at one point.
We're talking about Andrew Clark. You were just defending him. But now suddenly, because this thing came out that, oh yeah, by the way, he defended cuties, you want to pivot over to Necopon? No. We're not doing that right now. No.
Couldn't this be? Isn't this just long ago? Just once upon a time. Isn't this just once upon a time, just long ago?
No. No. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right fucking there, okay? Because now I'm starting to get pissed. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. What matters is that these children were scarred for life, okay?
I get it. But
no, clearly you don't, because you're saying that it was long ago and forever and once upon a time. That's not how it works.
How many years was that? Just how many years was that?
It doesn't matter how many years it's been.
You're sat here saying that it was years ago, right? And that's your stance for why it doesn't matter.
I just don't know how many years ago.
Even without...
I fucking hate the Senate.
Yeah. I think the Senate should be burnt down.
I agree. Wait. I disavow everything I just said.
I don't.
The memory issues. This is not the most objectionable question, relevant or not. But once again, thanks to Hopeless Peaches, this becomes the sentiment that grooming goes away with time. And this sentiment is what becomes fact to the people who were there, Endo included. And it comes up time and time and time and time again. And it gets the crowd to turn on Rosa for something that she never even fucking said. They're not interested in answers or hearing Rosa. I know this because so many times, Rosa tries to give them an answer and gets cut off, usually by Peaches. They either speak over her.
Who did fucking Star using? Well, is Dar the Star using me?
Yes, Star is using you. That's what I just said.
Oh, crap. Can you imagine falling on the sword for a mush mouth like Star Giant Productions?
Cut her off entirely.
A mush mouth? Jesus.
I'm shocked that there's this many people in here and nobody calling out, like, the bullshit until, like, 3.5 hours later.
I hate all of these people on the screen right now. All of these Discord users, except for Rosa. I don't know how I feel about Rosa. The rest of them all fucking suck.
We're begging you, pleading you, to explain what the hell is going on. I have been sitting here trying to be so nice. And you know what? Even I'm getting fucking pissed.
Or having a completely separate conversation.
Oh, hello, Rosie. I am Officer Bias with the Cyber Police, real name Jonathan T. Markison. And I have a few questions for you, because this is now a legal matter. Yeah, first things first, why are you fat?
It's a key question.
What the fuck?
It's so horrible, but I can't help but laugh.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Oh, look, listen. I have a question for you, Justin.
Yes?
Why are you fat?
Because I eat too much.
Fair point.
And I don't work out.
Okay.
So at
You're
one
still
point,
going to get
Lio
filed
asks
for a
Rosa...
misdemeanor.
Oh, okay.
It's a key question.
Also, at one point, Lio asks Rosa to dox herself, which is nice.
I'm going to ask you some questions. I know you're stupid, but try to pay attention. What's your city and state?
Please, enough with personal life.
I asked you
If you
what
keep
your
on
city
bringing
and
my
state is.
personal life, then
Almost nicer than when he says this.
I'm trying to build an example here that you will hopefully be able to grasp. You live with your mother. If your mother decides to lose it and put a bullet in everybody in that household, where she worked and how she got her job will have no relevance to why she did what she did.
Okay, this moment. It's kind of off topic, but I have to talk about this one moment in particular. Rosa is trying to explain that Nekopan was a previous artist for Rebecca, and Lio says this.
There's a guy who works in an auto shop. Do you understand that?
Uh-huh.
Alright, if that guy goes out the next day and, stabs 20 children, in the face, Did him working at the auto shop have anything to do with that? Do the cops need to know where he worked, how long he worked there, and how he got that job to determine whether or not he stabbed those children in the face?
I have to comment on this because I swear to God, this man does not hear himself talk. If someone commits a murder, does where they work have anything to do with the murder? Yes! Fucking yes! Yes, 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 yes! Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Yes!
Is that the band?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I was gonna say...
What are you gonna say?
Trigger warning. Leo is a fucking retard.
You know what I think?
What?
I think Owner of a Lonely Heart is a pretty good song. Anybody who thinks otherwise can suck my dick.
I actually agree. That's a great song.
You know,
Yes,
a lot of Yes fans do not like that album for some reason. I don't get it.
I'm assuming that's like their most commercially successful album, yes?
Yes, that kind of still.
That's the exact reason.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes! Other employees can be character witnesses. If the murder took place during work hours and the guy wasn't there, that's evidence of suspicion. He has no alibi. If he does work there when the murder occurred, then he has an alibi and it's hard to connect to the murder. An auto shop specifically is specifically relevant to a murder case, since the suspect could have gotten a specialty tool to use in a stabbing. Does where someone work have anything to do with the murder? You know where the phrase going postal comes from, right? Everyone talks about the character flaws, but Lyo's investigative abilities are just as much of a problem as his character. Everyone gets hung up on the ableism, which should be called out as much as it is, but his due diligence to investigating is just as much of a problem. Lyo has these severe blind spots. For example, I don't know, Rebecca's victim. Throughout all of this, Rebecca's victim's name comes up again and again and again, and for some reason that I cannot understand, despite keeping tabs on Rebecca, no one seems to know that they were a grooming victim. Or at the very least, they're not stating that publicly. They also apparently didn't know that Lily was a minor either back in 2020.
What was your fucking excuse? You want to defend Ray Rance and Nekopon at the same time? I remember someone by the name of Lily. She even mentioned, Star Giant was pissed off that we needed to ban Nekopon and Ray Rance. What was the excuse? What's the story? Tell me, what's the story?
In this conversation is the wrong word. This almost reminds me of a literal torture method. Anyway, this is the point where Endo learns that Mongrel is bad news.
Guantanamo Bay, they play that video over and over again.
The 3-hour video?
Yeah, the 4 hours is what he said it was.
Oh, I thought he said 3. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, and it's like 3.5 hours until someone pops in and says, "Okay, this is shit."
And did Leo record and upload this?
He said that I think it got leaked.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, how could he be proud of this?
No, apparently it got leaked. So I'm guessing somebody in there recorded it, thought it was bullshit maybe, and released it.
Okay.
Or maybe he did record it and decided not to, but then somebody hacked him. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Difficult person. She always just comes to me like, "Here, let me comfort you. Let me make it all better." But then all of a sudden, she goes just completely the different opposite approach.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't blame her because you guys literally backstabbed her when Nekopon gave you false information of sexual harassment. And you guys still believed Neko. And we sent you the email as well before Mongrel got backstabbed.
Well,
that's the fucking irony. So I don't blame Mongrel for being pissed off at you. But then yet again, you let Mongrel come back in your pants and be like, "Oh, Mongrel, we're besties again." So no fucking wonder this bitch fucking hates you. No wonder she wants to destroy your fucking life, because you're a piece of garbage. Just like her.
Jesus Christ.
I hate all of these people.
I know.
I do need to insert this. You are unfortunately incorrect, Emmy. Because after the first call, not the live one that we had, the first call, where Rosa got put in her place, Mongrel rushed to her side to comfort her from the big, mean, liar bully who's harassing people on the internet because Mongrel has an axe to grind with us because we told her the truth about her life and she couldn't handle it. So, no, she doesn't hate this doofus. She's trying to comfort her. And this
But I thought she was a victim of Nekopon. Why the fuck?
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't get
with
why
Mongrel, because with Mongrel, all that really matters is whether or not it suits her to side with whoever she doesn't like. And she's really mad at me. She has been caught trying to conspire with lolicons because she's that mad at me.
Holy shit,
That's
she's
who
that.
Mongrel is.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
They apparently didn't know at this point that Mongrel dragged a couple of these users into a Discord server with that illegal image that Mongrel would then spread around Harley TVS's Discord server. As for the sexually harassing thing, Endo does repeatedly state that it's fake, that it didn't happen, and I understand the temptation. However, it did happen. Most people in the friend group saw. They were there when Mongrel dropped the joke about penetration, and they saw it before they got wind that Nekopon was a groomer. Once again, this does not excuse anything that Nekopon does, and I have no sympathy for them being sexually harassed by Mystic Mongrel, but it did happen.
And I'm wondering, this big piece of evidence. When we sent that email, did you know about that email? Because the irony is that we sent Phantom Strider the same email on that same day. He got rid of Nekopon in a couple hours.
Or who is this person?
I'm not entirely certain. I'm having trouble following, if I'm being completely honest.
Is there a username lighting up in the thing over there, or?
No usernames are popping up.
Shit.
Phantom Strider actually did his job compared to y'all.
I was told directly in the last video, the emails, both emails, were sent out on November 5th, the same day as the thread, and it is the basis for 8 months. The tweet thread where they updated and noticed Nekopon's video was on December 7th, to which I have to assume it was around the same time the video was uploaded. And as already established, Strider had Nekopon's art still on his Twitter, and does to this day. This wasn't an obscure mystical fact that I had to go digging through DMs for. I literally just googled Phantom Strider, Nekopon Twitter, and found it. Endo themselves claims that they had memory problems in the video itself, so that could be an explanation for all of this, but it just reveals another layer of this entire train wreck. I get the logic behind all of this. It sounds cathartic, beyond cathartic. Being able to yell at the one who hurt you severely, being able to rub that in their face. But Rosa is not Nekopon, and shouting at Rosa does nothing. It's not justice. It's not even vengeance. By placing these two together like this, it leads to re-traumatization, and it does over and over and over again as Lyo's enemies get a hold of this and drag Endo down with him. While Lyo Convoy maybe can withstand and tolerate a billion Lion Man bad videos, the vulnerable people who have attached themselves to him cannot. Intimidation is an incredibly useful tool when it comes to things like predator hunting, and Lyo Convoy has that down pat. Many people are intimidated by him. I'm not gonna be like one of those idiots saying, Urgo can't do anything over a keyboard. No, I will fully state, on record, I honestly find Lyo Convoy an intimidating individual. But intimidation...
What? Bro, what?
I mean, you had that guy sitting there yelling at you, I could see it.
I would just laugh at him. I'm sorry.
we're edgelords, though.
My problem is that this is over the internet. Like, if it was face-to-face, yeah, that would be fucking intimidating to be screamed at by some probably overweight dude who looks like a fucking beach ball, screaming, god dang, over and over and over again, and calling you a retard. Yeah, that would fucking suck in person. But online, I would just laugh and hang up the call.
It really depends. I think it just depends on, like, your mental state.
Fair.
I will fully state,
especially if it's, some young person with autism who doesn't know how to handle this situation.
Okay, young person, yes, but how old is Mr. Enter? If
I
you had
don't
to
know.
guess.
I would assume he's slightly younger than us. Probably
Yeah.
late 20s.
late 20s, early 30s, like very.
Well,
very
he just said he
beginning.
found them intimidating, which I get what he's saying. You know, the guy's like crackpot.
The fact that he goes after like young kids and early 20s people and bullies them is kind of fucked up. Like, it's really fucked up. But I don't know. I don't see him as intimidating. He just seems like a shitlord.
I don't see him as intimidating either, but I get what he means. So I mean, he's still aggressive and like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lyle Convoy an intimidating individual. But intimidation is only one tool, and predator hunting is something that requires many. Most importantly, it requires a thorough understanding of mental illness, and exactly what being hurt like this does to a person, and which scenarios make the pain worse. Having Endo, someone who Nekopon hurt, try to explain to someone who aided Nekopon why what they did hurts sounds logical. It logically sounds like it could and would do something. It sounds like it could break through to Rosa, or at the very least make her feel shame and remorse. That's until you hear Rosa talk for just 10 minutes. By minute 10 of the first call, the only thing that I could think of is that Rosa shouldn't have been put in any of this to begin with. She should not have been a mod for Rebecca. I think we can all agree on that. But I think at this point we also have to agree that Rosa should not have been brought up on call. Rosa clearly does not have full awareness of what's going on. And I don't mean that as an insult, but an objective fact. In this 4-hour struggle session, at one point, Zayde Magenta comes in, and despite literally being insulted over and over again, being called every name in the book, talking to Endo, having her name rewritten to Rosa Let's Just Say, Rosa's demeanor completely changes here.
This is the moment you've been waiting for, isn't it? A chance to get at me because you think I'm some kind of evil that needs to be stopped? Well, here's your chance. Take a shot. Say whatever you want to say about me being a horrible person. Because I got a couple of questions. But hey, I'll let you have the first shot. Come at me.
Well then, just help me. Why do you feel the need to shove your opinion down our throats?
Oh, you mean you're not doing the same thing?
Well, I respect everyone's opinion.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Because you certainly don't respect mine.
I do, but
No, you don't.
always shove it down down everyone's throats.
No, I just make videos making my points clear on why I thought something was badly made, and I try to do editorials and explanations trying to support arguments that I make. And hey, if someone doesn't want to listen to it, I'm not holding them hostage to do it. I'm not holding them hostage. If they don't want to listen, they can just go about their business. I'm okay with that. But my problem is that you are obsessed with ousting me as this horrible person who's a threat to the community because, what am I doing that is such a threat to you? What is this about you trying to get me on Techno's channel, talking about internet horrors, about how I'm this horrible person, how I am this... Oh my god, we have to do something about Zayid. He's doing all these horrible things because of opinions and Star Wars. Oh, do you not realize how
to
much...
improve your life. Just to improve your life.
Rosa starts claiming that she's been harassing Zayde and spam posting to quote-unquote help his life. Rosa Ray Ramsey has no awareness of the situation. In the first call, Coyote Lovely did try to talk to Rosa as calmly as he possibly could.
It just feels like it's going on and on.
Alright, so Zayid has a lot of opinions about Star Wars. I don't understand how that's such a big deal.
And everybody here, they seem to like The Last Jedi.
Everybody where?
Many people.
I understand many people may enjoy it. Many people also didn't enjoy it. It's a very divisive film in that regard, but you said
yeah,
here.
But
It's here. I understand, but that...
My head hurts.
Is this what cancer is?
I think so. We're dealing with legitimately dangerous child predator allegations, and we're sidetracking into fucking Star Wars.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like this woman. is not mentally all there. And this guy who is fucking screaming at her, apparently can't understand that she is not mentally able to take part in this shit. Because she doesn't understand. She literally doesn't understand.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
That's not the question that I'm asking. The question that I'm asking is, you said everyone here liked The Last Jedi. Where is here? Like, do you mean in your personal life? Do you mean in this server? In another server? Like, because I honestly can go on YouTube right now and find a slew of videos of people who enjoyed it, people who didn't, and people who were just in between. It's a very divisive film.
Well, it kind of feels like it's going over and over like a record.
Well, if that's really bothering you that much, you can press the mute button or the block button. Those are both options you can explore as far as Twitter goes.
And even that didn't break through to Rosa and get her to make very simple steps. Anyone with the mental health knowledge needed to help the victims of trauma would have known right then and there that you were not going to get anything useful out of Rosa. And when you have someone who is unaware of exactly what they've done, talking to a person who is in the depths of healing and is very heavily traumatized, there is no way in hell that this doesn't end in tragedy. People talk about how Rosa was treated, but this confrontation probably hurt Endo just as much as it hurt Rosa, maybe even more. Because, like I said, Rosa was clearly not entirely aware of what was going on. Meanwhile, Endo was given the impression that yelling, berating, asking this woman to dox herself, and all of this showcase doesn't even move the fucking needle. And that's without even talking about a reputational hit. Need I remind you about the Stardust shit? Honestly, that's why a lot of this story frustrates me so much. Nekopon is the predator that set all of this off. Nekopon is the core, the center of this black hole of misery. Due to Lio Convoy's actions, this morphed to be about Rebecca Starlight, who kept a predator in her server for 8 months, along with her moderator. And between all of this, while Rebecca Starlight was clearly on Nekopon's side, she wasn't Ray Rance. She wasn't going to bat publicly for Nekopon. And then, because of this train wreck, the story becomes how Lio Convoy yelled at a disabled woman for 4 hours. The plot is totally lost. So many people are making video after video after video, squeezing every dollar of AdSense out of the Rosa Ray Ramsey call, and they don't even know who the fuck Nekopon is. They probably don't even know who the fuck Star Giant is. And that's ironic, isn't it? This is Star Giant's sin, absolutely. But she wasn't the one most gung-ho about it. Yet, it's her tent the whole circus takes place in. Honestly, I'm sure a lot of people here are disappointed in this video seeing that Rebecca is merely a footnote. When it comes to predator hunting, reputation is everything. It's why Daft Pina can't expose predators anymore. Everything he said about Cosmodor was absolutely accurate, but no one is going to believe anything Daft Pina says, or care about it, because he's always going to be the guy who tried to pry into Ellis Mark's marriage. And that's all he'll ever be for the rest of his internet career. Lio Convoy is always going to be the one who shouted at an epileptic for 4 hours. And terrible people know this. And terrible people are fully willing to take advantage of this. And this is another thing that I need to make absolutely clear. There's one pattern that I noticed talking to the victims of Rebecca Starlight and listening to them.
Canon events are the connections that bind our lives together.
Because...
did I see what I think I saw? Yep. God fucking damn it.
Read it.
Oh god, I just realized the first video of hers that I watched was the Lily Orchard one.
Was that with Star Giant?
I don't know. I saw Lily Orchard's name and got PTSD. Why does everything go back to that bitch?
It's Lily Orchard's like the secret puppet master behind all this.
Events are the connections that bind our lives together.
Because how I met Rebecca was mostly through her Lily Orchard videos.
And my connection to Rebecca is I found her through her Lily Orchard videos back in like 2019.
Her and I, we didn't talk much. We mostly talked about like cartoons that we liked and despising the same YouTuber, that being Lily Orchard.
I'll be damned if history repeats itself. So I'm gonna nip this in the bud right now. Lio Convoy has done a lot worthy of criticism. I cannot abide by his actions, but through his actions, he has made many terrible enemies. Terrible people who hate him. And this fact alone is causing a lot of pain. These are people like Omnia or Akumu, who are absolutely clout chasers. They are people like Kumo, who got a teenage girl to cut his name into her leg. They are people like Coyote
What the fuck?
Who was that?
Akumo.
I don't know who that is, but I'm gonna have to look into that.
They are people like
Kumo, okay.
Who got a teenage girl to cut his name into her leg. They are people like Coyote Lovely, who flirted with a zoophile for over 2 months. They are people like Mystic Mongrel. They are people like Stardust, who outright mocks grooming victims. Not just questions their story, but outright mocks them. They are people like Hopeless Peaches, who is hopelessly deranged. And I'm sure that a lot of people want to hear people bitch about Lyle Convoy. What I'm terrified of is vulnerable people falling into the clutches of any of these deranged psychopaths because of a mutual hatred of Lyle Convoy. Because apparently hating the right guy tends to give people a lot of passes. Ray Rance was just the guy who made videos shit-talking Rebecca, and Rebecca was just the girl making videos shit-talking on Lily Orchard. And Lyle himself can't be the one to make this known. The people who are still close to Lyle have to make this known. Because no one is going to believe Lyle at this point. He could say they're deranged all he wants, provide evidence all he wants, but reputation is everything. And that's another worry, because some people who orbit around Lyle aren't very sane themselves. Back in March, after the Rosa Ray Ramsey call was originally leaked, Call Me Nil tried to stop all the drama by ending her life on a live stream. Lyle Convoy did get her the medical intervention that she needed. She is still alive to this day, because of Lyle Convoy. And now this person that Lyle Convoy, once upon a time, trusted to get involved with predator hunting, this person who is not mentally capable of predator hunting, is leaking shit constantly that's causing a lot of fucking pain. Leaking shit that Nil should not have. Like, there's this video that's just Dar talking to Rebecca. Nil has this. I don't know where she got it. Nil has this video about Ray Rance bitching at Rebecca's victim that was deleted years ago. Also, Nil is now in talks with Mongrel. Dar's call causes her stress to this day, even though it hasn't been leaked, because there's a chance that some dipshit out there is going to leak it, hurt her, just to fucking get at Lyle Convoy. And there are more egregious errors. In my Rebecca video back in March, I did state the name of one of Nekopon's victims. If all goes well, I should have edited that name out by the time you see this, because you see, no one in Lyle's camp told me, or other investigators, that this person wanted to remain anonymous. Endo themselves says this name a lot, but this person wants to remain as anonymous as possible, and considering what they've been through, I can understand that. But this is a criticism for both Endo and Lyle Convoy. There is a chance that Lyle Convoy didn't know that this victim wanted to be anonymous, but considering that he's been investigating Nekopon for over a year, this simple fact should have been known and repeated, and told to any of the investigators. Someone on staff should have let me or Lazy Bedhead know about this. But if there's anything that makes me write off Lyle Convoy completely, it's this. I was pulled into a group chat with several other members in regards to the Nekopon investigation. We had to make a difficult decision and do something incredibly important. Lyle was the only one who could actually do the action for reasons that I can't go into here. But everyone voted and asked Lyle to do something. This thing was important. Lyle disagreed with our decision, but he did promise to abide by the group decision over the weekend. That important thing was never done. He instead took the weekend to get into a shouting match with Kumo. An update was asked in the group chat on June 18th, and as of the 25th, no account in that group chat has spoken. And if you're wondering, this is something that I can easily infer has not been done. I can't say exactly what Lyle was asked to do for reasons that Lyle himself knows, but we both know exactly how important it was to do, and it properly informs me of what Lyle values. I'm not going to be one of those people that says that Lyle is the same person that he was in the Rosa calls, because I know for a fact that he's not. He's a lot calmer in the Rebecca call for one, and I've spoken to him personally when he has a lot of a calmer demeanor, and it's clear that the events of this year in particular have affected him greatly. But this experience has told me that he still has a lot of growth left to do. In the first Rosa Ray Ramsey call, Coyote Lovely says this.
Because what you could do is look for YouTubers on Twitter, since you seem to be living on there a lot, who actually talk about situations of predation. For example, you could email Mama Max if that's what you felt comfortable doing. Also, Tipster.
What?
That must have been before the shit was down, huh?
Hopefully.
That's a good one as well. Tipster was pointed out. Almost everybody knows.
Tipster.
That's funny.
Tipster.
In the year and a half since this call was recorded, Mama Max was reamed for turning predator hunting into a Hotline Miami ARG. Tipster stood by Vosh when he spilled his collection of quote-unquote short-stack goblin porn live on stream, and Coyote Lovely was exposed for flirting with a zoophile, hypnotist Sappho, for over 2 months. They suggested that Rosa try to tell Star Giant about this predator, when, unbeknownst to them, another moderator did get wind of this, did try to tell Rebecca, and it got them banned. If this sounds frustrating, imagine how I feel. Because it's just this, happening again, and again, and again, for 5 fucking years.
This is why YouTubers and shitheel clout chasers should not be involved in predator hunting in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I mean, it really sounds like the entire, I guess, commentary or rant community is just, like, full of fucking crazies.
Yes, definitely. What's unfortunate, though, is that these are the only people to really do this because the police don't do shit about, like, online predation very much.
Yeah.
It's a shitty situation all around, but these people should not be handling this kind of stuff at all.
Yeah.
The story began in
Wouldn't that
2019.
be like a job, like, you know, online police?
Yeah, there is cyber police that deal with crimes like this, but they don't do a very good job.
Oh.
And again, for 5 fucking years. This story began in 2019, and the investigations began in late 2020. It's now mid-2024, and it's just like this constantly, moment after moment after moment, of watching a tragedy unfold in slow motion, because people don't have the full context. The full context is in the hands of terrible people, or terrible people are manipulating others to their own ends. And not one goddamn person is being fully honest with me. I didn't like making this video. Not just because it was psychologically taxing, it was, but because I don't like needing to air out other people's dirty laundry. I didn't want to have to talk about Dar's Senate call. I didn't want to have to talk about Rebecca's victim's involvement in all of this. And I didn't want to have to criticize Endo. And I'm sure that they're all going to be very mad at me. And they have every right to be. At the start, I just wanted to answer as much as I could about Rebecca, and that had to do with Mystic Mongrel. Who was she? What did she do? And the more that I researched, the more that I learned that they had nothing to do with each other. Rebecca wasn't even really a main character in the story. And with that learned, because I'm a curious fucking little pig, I had to figure out why. And as I did that, I learned that the entire Nekopon investigation was a house of cards that is on the verge of tipping over completely. Call Me Nil is leaking shit left and right, and in the most threatening of ways for no reason. Ray's video about Rebecca's victim is scheduled to be uploaded in about a month's time from now, because Nil has this habit where she schedules things to be uploaded years in advance. And the things that Nil is leaking not only have the opportunity to dredge up old wounds, but if it gets to a serious point, they could literally put lives in danger. Like, literally, I'm not exaggerating. As in, several people caught in this web are very prone to self-harm. On top of that, Mongrel is still harassing people. Team Lio constantly downplays her involvement, despite the fact that she is 90% of the reason this investigation was such a fucking train wreck. Due to jealousy and bitterness, she inadvertently formed an alliance around Nekopon. Because Mongrel is that much of a toxic dumpster fire of a person. She cyberstalks people, threatens them, and even sent one person that illegal image of a minor via DMs. Once again, unsolicited, obviously. This person has been so traumatized where they can't say Mongrel's name without choking up. And Mongrel still hasn't backed out and gone the fuck away. And with the Senate's implosion, it's clear to me that the longer that this investigation goes on, the more people will get hurt. Even if a Rosa Ray Ramsey round 3 never happens, terrible actors are taking advantage of Lio's shortcomings and downplaying what actually happened. Of course, Lio's shortcomings helped with that, turning this whole sideshow to be about Rebecca letting a predator into her server for 8 months instead of, I don't know, the predator themselves. I have to state this. Nekopon is the worst person in this entire story, bar none. And everyone who did stick up for her, Mongrel's involvement or not, should feel shame for the fact that they stood up for Nekopon. Once again, Mongrel's involvement is an explanation, but it is not an excuse. I will state that several of the characters in the story were young. Lily was a minor for most of these events at 17. Rebecca's victim, 18. And User X, 19. Youth isn't an excuse either, but it does allow me to be at least a little bit lenient, because they were manipulated by people who were much older people who were willing to take advantage of their naivety. And despite what they've done, I can only be so angry at people like Rosa Ray Ramsey or Call Me Nil due to their disabilities. It's clear to me that they're not entirely aware of what they're doing. So Nil, this part's for you. If you've been listening this far, thank you very much. Here's what I want you to do. Do not, I repeat, I do not want you to punish yourself in any way. Do not punish yourself. I understand that you want to make things right as you possibly can, and you can do this by doing 3 things. 1, block Mystic Mongrel, forever this time. 2, stop these scheduled uploads. They're not important. And 3, back away from predator hunting entirely. Stay out of stories involving serious matters. Focus on your music as much as possible, alright? The big 4 that have absolutely no excuse are Nekopon, Mongrel, Rebecca, and Ray Rance. Ray Rance was 20 years old, but even beyond that, he moved the chessboard the most, harassing Rebecca's victim beforehand, and getting others to do morally objectionable things on his own behalf. That's before even going into his own sordid past with a 15-year-old. Yes, Ray, I know you said that she came on to you first. I also know that the Discord block button is easy to find. I also know that this is the same exact excuse that Rebecca used for wanting to move in with your old hate crush. Ray Rance, you're a disgusting individual, and for her sake, I hope that Lily found someone who's not a manipulative bastard. To the Lyo camp. I don't think I can say anything that hasn't been said time and time and time again. The only thing I could do was fully establish how botched this all was. And for everyone's sake, I hope the Nekopon investigation was an anomaly. Even with that in mind, I have the same advice that I had for Nil. This predator hunting thing is not for you. I don't doubt that you want to help, but to help, you have to recognize when you have the right set of tools for the job. I know personally that I don't, which is why I hope that this is the last time that I ever have to make a video like this. My essence can't take another hit. This story doesn't have a happy ending. Several people in the story are traumatized. Several people should literally be in prison, but they're not. And that's because right now victims seem to only have 2 options. The what is Discord people or...
I promise you, if you think Zaid just being a little mean about Star Wars makes you have nightmares that he's a literal monster stealing your tongue, I will steal your essence.
It sucks. It really fucking sucks. It's an easy thing to forget since we're on it all day, every day, and most of you have been since the day you were born. But the internet is still a new thing. Just a little over 30 years, and just a little over 15 before anyone was really taking it seriously. The internet really is an untamed wasteland, and we're still just at its beginnings. Online documentarians or whatever can do well to keep things to an account. Last year we had some great journalism. Carl Jobst Mudahar took on the completionist in his charity scandal. Todd in the Shadows and H-Bomber Guy took on James Somerton. Despite what you may say about their characters, this was good journalism, and it did have some effect. The completionist is still making videos, he hasn't been drop-kicked by the IRS, and James Somerton is still pulling stunts, but it's something, you know? Progress is slow, and I hate that. I hate this. I don't even know if I have a point this time around. I'm just sad. All I want is the goddamn pain to stop, and I don't know how to make it stop. All I know is that I've seen 3.5 years worth of the most convoluted story of everyone fucking up every step along the way. And need I remind you, Nekopon hasn't been heard of since, like, July of 2021. 3 years ago, almost to the day. It's an injustice. One that I don't know how to resolve, especially after all of this. I'm personally hoping that this is the last time that I ever have to speak on any of the shit, because I want to go jump in a lake. You want to know where Rebecca is? Rebecca is dead to me. If she ever does end up teaming up with her transphobic mother who thinks that she's a predator, and sends me a lawsuit over her grooming allegations, I will absolutely let you know. But other than that, as far as I'm concerned, she's been set off on a Viking funeral and her casket has been burned over the Pacific Ocean. I think, for my own sanity, and the sanity of everyone involved, I have to focus on building and rebuilding. Holding on to Rebecca and the insanity that managed to tangle itself around her, it's not good for anyone. Only Rebecca Królewski could get herself tangled into this story. This one. She's an alien from Mars, okay? That's how the story ends. She's an alien from Mars, and she's gone back to her home planet. My focus from here on out is trying to help the people she hurt, and help out the people who've been hurt by the people around Rebecca. What does that even mean? At current, I don't even fucking know. I'll figure it out. I'm tired. I want to go to bed, and I never want to wake up. I was supposed to be talking about the stupid Rescue Rangers movie, and instead, well, You're here after like an hour and a half. Thank you for that, by the way. Regular content should be resuming soon. Have a good day.
Undertale music.
Hey, don't you like that game, don't you?
No, I hate it.
Yeah, I like how he couldn't even, like, say anything at that ending there. It's just... The whole thing's a shit show.
Jesus fucking Christ, it was a shit show. Props to Mr. Enter for making a better structured video than last time.
Oh, you think you like this one better?
Yeah, it was better structured. Like, the timeline was a little easier to follow, but there were so many people involved that it became so convoluted it was still hard to follow. But that's not a fault of him, that's just a fault of all the players involved and all the shit going on.
Well, it's like if he failed to, like, mention anything, it's like, I wonder, did he, like, do well? How much help did he have making this, actually editing the video? Because I know he's not, like, an editor himself. And, like, I can see where this would, like, get very hard to keep everything together.
Yeah.
With how complicated it fucking got. I remember this song now. Let's read the comments.
I can't.
I will refresh and see if it starts working again.
Last time on Mr. Enter Investigates, I looked into my ex-editor Rebecca Starlight. I'd assembled a...
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if it's my browser or my ad guard.
Well, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of disappointed in you right now. You let us all down.
Yes, I am.
Reading the comments is supposed to be like, that's like the main course, really. That's why people watch our videos, so they can watch us read the comments at the end.
Yes, it's terrible. I fucked up.
Last time on Mr. Enter Investigates, I looked into my ex-editor Rebecca...
Okay, that didn't work either. Let me try something.
Okay.
It's probably not gonna work, but maybe we'll get lucky. I'm on a beta OS right now, so it's possible that it's the OS that's fucking up.
Okay.
But okay, so I can't update Safari. Okay, so that's not the issue.
Oh.
Let me try this and refresh.
Last time on Mr. Enter Investigates.
Nope. I don't know what the issue is.
Maybe it's yo mama.
Maybe.
Maybe it's these nuts.
Maybe I just lost the game again.
You always lose the game. So I guess what are your final thoughts?
This makes a soap opera seem easy to follow.
Yeah.
I hate everyone involved except for the victims and the creator of this video.
Yeah.
I really dislike Leo a lot, like intensely.
Yeah. He said he did calm down, though, to his credit. but still fucked up something.
See, I feel like it's more of a PR move than an actual change.
Maybe, I don't know. Because I don't know. I never even heard of him before this.
Yeah, but according to Mr. Inter, all of this blew up in his face and the entire Senate fucking imploded based on everything that happened. So this feels like I need to correct my image because I fucked up big time, not I fucked up big time and I need to fix myself because I made a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say. I don't know. I just know he acted kind of fucking deranged. He's deranged.
Yes.
He acted very deranged. And, it was funny, I won't lie, but it was maddening too.
Yes, there were points that were funny, but it wasn't funny for the reasons that he was hoping for, is kind of my take.
No, not at all. He's a crazy person. Nekopon should go to prison.
Yes.
I still want to fuck her avatar.
Rebecca should go to prison.
I might want to. I don't know. Which depends on the avatar. The witch one, yeah, but not the one that looks like a Butch Dyke.
Hold on 1 second. Keep talking.
Okay. I forget who was the other guy. Ray something.
Yeah. Ray Rance.
Ray Rance. Yeah, he's insane. Mystic Mongrel's insane. They're all insane.
Yeah, everybody's fucking insane that's involved in this.
You think Phantom Strider is insane?
I think Phantom Strider just wants to be left alone, to be completely honest with you.
To get that impression.
I wouldn't be surprised if every time one of these videos gets uploaded, he's just thinking to himself in Will Smith's voice, "Keep my name out your fucking mouth." Yeah, that was... Ugh.
There was a thing.
What thing?
I mean, the video was a thing. All of this was a thing. What's the video called again?
I can't even see the title.
Oh.
I can't see the title, I can't see comments, I can't see the like button, I can't see the subscribe button, I can't see shit. I was gonna like the video, but I can't.
Have you tried putting on your glasses?
I'm wearing contacts right now.
You might need, like, your glasses and your contacts for, like, extra strength.
Earlier, I was washing my hands after I got done using the bathroom, and I went to lean down to grab my hat, and I got distracted, and I looked over, and I saw my glasses on the stand behind the toilet. And for some reason, I thought that I was grabbing my glasses and not my hat. And I put my glasses on while wearing my contacts, and then I got confused why my vision got blurry.
Do you want this hat?
The hat that your PFP is wearing?
No, the hat on the screen.
Oh,
on the video. Boss. That's a nice hat.
Hell yeah.
See, if you really want to go predator hunting, you need this hat.
Yes.
I also wish I had this TV.
So do I.
It's retro. It's retro as fuck.
I do want to get a CRTV at some point for playing retro video games like the Super Nintendo and the PS2.
It'd also be good if you want light gun games.
Oh yeah, like Duck Hunt.
Yeah, Duck Hunt. I heard you can, like, point the gun at a light bulb and win.
Really?
Yeah. I
That's
don't know
fucking
how true
awesome.
that is, but yeah. That's how it like does this. Like when you shoot, it like checks for like the screen blinks and like where the birds are, it'll like lights.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
my
there'll be, like,
recording
little-
worked the whole time, by the way.
That's good.
I
Mine
just
did
need
too.
you
In
to
case
send me part 1.
I didn't send it to you yet.
I don't think so. Hold on. I need
Alright.
to...
Should we still be recording, or should we go ahead and cut this fucking off? I don't
I
know.
was just getting ready to do my little outro bullshit. Be sure to dislike, leave a nasty comment, and unsubscribe. We hate all of you. Except for the victims involved in this video. We don't hate you. And Mr. Enter, you did a good job. Hopefully
Yeah.
you don't have to do this again.
I
Go
mean,
like and
weirdly,
subscribe
he's.
to
I
Mr.
feel like
Enter.
he's. I think that's the ironic thing. It's just how he's like he hates doing this, but I think he's actually like better at this than cartoon reviews.
Yeah, right. If
Like,
anybody
legit,
happens...
his
Oh, go ahead.
best videos are shit like him. What was it? The fucking what? The extra. You remember the extra credits?
No.
You don't remember the extra credits where they're like, oh, and all of a sudden you're a Nazi. You didn't ask for this. You didn't want this, but there it is. They're talking about like video games where you like, you know, it's like World War II games where you have to like play as either a hero or a Nazi.
Yeah, I don't know
So
that.
you're just gonna be, you don't remember the fucking image where they compared like ogres to black people?
That sounds familiar, but I don't remember it.
Look, I'll send you that shit later. It's great. He did a video on those, and like those were good. But yeah, see, Mr. Enter, you don't really watch him so much for like so much for good commentary. Usually, it's the character development, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of character development. It's kind of he's an interesting individual.
Yeah.
He's nowhere near as good a like cartoon reviewer as like the Rebel Texie guy, but he's an interesting fellow, I think. That's probably why I'm sympathetic to him.
Gotcha. If you're watching this video, go like this video we reacted to and subscribe to Mr. Enter and do all that good shit, and we're gone.